Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I welcome all the teachers and professors to the AMP's fourth online teachers training program, organized in collaboration with Maulana Azad University, Jodhpur. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Dear teachers, as you all know about this training program, आपके लिए एक छोटा सा अपडेट है कि इस एडिशन के साथ हम लोग एक क्विज प्रोग्राम लेकर आए हैं. एट द एंड ऑफ दिस सेशन वी आर गोइंग टू शेयर अ गूगल फॉर्म जिसमें 10 क्वेश्चंस होंगे इस ट्रेनिंग सेशन से रिलेटेड. आप सबको उसके आंसर्स लिखना है. ये मल्टीपल चॉइस आंसर्स होंगे या फिर यस और नो में हो सकते हैं. It will hardly going to take 10 minutes. So please do take that test. क्योंकि 75% अटेंडेंस और 75% मार्क्स इस क्विज में लाने पर ही इस प्रोग्राम का सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा. And now let's go ahead with the session. Before that, let me inform you, since you have access to both Q&A and chat box, I will request you all to use only Q&A box for the questions. अगर ट्रेनर आपसे कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं तो आंसर करने के लिए Q&A box ही यूज करें. Now allow me to start the session with a brief introduction about our organization, AMP. Association of Muslim Professionals, AMP, is a national non-profit organization that works for the educational, economic, and overall empowerment of the community and the nation, and it has completed 15 years serving the community with a vision to positively impact lives of deprived and underprivileged people. You can see here the list of AMP's flagship programs. ये हमारे वो verticals है जिसमें हम काम करते हैं pan India. सबसे पहले आप देख सकते हैं EAC, that is Employment Assistance Cell. Under this, we organize job fairs and job drives across the country. अभी 2 दिन पहले गुलबर्गा में हमारा job drive हुआ है जो कि अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह बहुत successful रहा job fair. और इंशाल्लाह on the 25th of this month एक और job fair होगा बेंगलोर में. Then we have empowerjobs.com. It is a platform. It's a common platform for candidates and corporates that makes hiring easy. And then we also have National Talent Search, NTS, जिसके बारे में आप लोग को already बहुत कुछ पता है. And इंशाल्लाह इस सेशन के दौरान हम और भी बहुत कुछ जानेंगे NTS के बारे में. Then we have AMP Web Talks and Webinars. And as you all know, India Zakat is a crowdfunding platform. इंडिया का पहला ज़कात क्राउडफंडिंग प्लेटफॉर्म है जहां पर आप कॉज रेस कर सकते हैं और जो मुस्तहक लोग हैं ज़कात के वो वहां पर अपने लिए एजुकेशन और दूसरी ज़रूरतों के लिए हेल्प ले सकते हैं. AMP has a huge on-ground presence with the 200 active chapters and online presence with lakhs of members and professionals connected through various social media platforms. You can also join us, be a volunteer or partner with us or a sponsor. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to introduce a very special guest today, Mr. Mohammed Amin. Mr. Amin is a distinguished professional with a wealth of experience in various domains, currently serving as the Deputy Registrar at Maulana Azad University, Jodhpur, and the Chief Administrator at Marwar Muslim Educational and Welfare Society, Jodhpur. He holds the esteemed position of National Zonal Head for North India with AMP. I welcome you to the session today, sir. Please enlighten us about the Teachers Training Program and share your thoughts about the program. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good evening to all of you. Jazakallah khairan Zainab for a wonderful session and a wonderful start. I think अभी बहुत लंबे टाइम तक इंशाल्लाह हमारे ट्रेनर TOT के ऊपर बात करेंगे, टीचर ट्रेनिंग के ऊपर बात करेंगे, काफ़ी लंबी बात करेंगे. तो मुझे बहुत ज़्यादा सैंडविच नहीं बनना चाहिए. बस मैं अपने चंद अल्फाज आपके साथ रखना चाहता हूँ कि अल्लाह तबारक व तआला ने जब दुनिया बनाई और आदम अलैहिस्सलाम को बनाने का ख्याल रखा और आदम अलैहिस्सलाम को बनाया, तो फरिश्तों ने कुछ इश्काल किया, फरिश्तों ने कुछ उसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन उठाए कि अल्लाह, मतलब पूरा तफसीली वाक़या कुरान के अंदर अगर उसको पढ़ेंगे, मैं उसको शॉर्ट में रिलेट करता हूँ। तो उनके उस शक को अल्लाह तबारक व तआला ने कुछ क्वेश्चंस पूछे, सवाल पूछे फरिश्तों से, तो फरिश्ते नहीं बता पाए। फिर अल्लाह तबारक व तआला ने आदम अलैहिस्सलाम से वो सवाल पूछे और आदम अलैहिस्सलाम ने वो सवाल बता दिए। तब अल्लाह तबारक व तआला ने फरिश्तों को हुक्म दिया कि अब तुम आदम को सजदा करो। यानी कि इस बात को स्टैब्लिश किया, पहले डिस्टिंग्विश किया कि नॉलेजेबल पर्सन, जिसके पास इंफॉर्मेशन है, जो बात कर सकता है, जो जवाब दे सकता है सवाल के, और एक वो आदमी जिसके पास इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है, जो सवाल पूछे जाने पर चुप रह जाता है। तो उन दोनों के बीच में एक डिफरेंशिएट किया और फिर इस बात को स्टैब्लिश किया कि जिसके पास नॉलेज नहीं है उसको कयामत तक नॉलेज वालों के सामने झुकना पड़ेगा। सजदा करने से मकसूद वहां पर अल्लाह तबारक व तआला का नाउजुबिल्लाह ये नहीं था कि उनको उनकी इबादत के लिए कहा था, बल्कि वो झुकाना था इसलिए कि जो नॉलेज है वो हमेशा ऊपर रहेगी, नॉलेजेबल आदमी हमेशा ऊपर रहेगा। इसी की लाइन में अगर हम देखें, अल्लाह के रसूल सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम जब इस दुनिया में तशरीफ लाए और उनकी बहुत सारी टीचिंग्स, ब्लेसिंग्स हमारे साथ हैं, लेकिन उसी के अंदर एक टीचिंग जो मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ और कहता हूँ कि इस पे हम अमल करना चाहिए, वो ये है कि इंसान जब इस दुनिया में पैदा होता है तो माँ की गोद से लेके कब्र तक का जो सफर है उसका लर्निंग का है। टीचर्स बहुत ही वाइटल और बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करते हैं इस नॉलेज के ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन में। नॉलेज या इंफॉर्मेशन को डेटा से एक एक्शनेबल इंफॉर्मेशन में कन्वर्ट करना, उसको किस तरह से हम इम्प्लीमेंट करें, किस तरह से हम एक्शनेबल करें, किस तरह से हम उसका अप्लाइड करें। अभी अनफॉर्चुनेटली जो पूरी दुनिया में एक ट्रेडिशनल एजुकेशन सिस्टम एग्जिस्ट कर रहा है, काम कर रहा है, वो सिर्फ एक क्लर्क्स पैदा कर पा रहा है। शायद मुझे लगता है क्लर्क्स भी पूरे नहीं पैदा कर पाता। लेकिन अगर आपको थिंकर्स पैदा करने हैं, इनोवेटर्स पैदा करने हैं, कुरान को अगर हम पढ़ें तो कुरान में आई थिंक 100 से बहुत ज्यादा, और वो एग्जैक्ट नंबर मुझे याद नहीं, जहां पे अल्लाह तबारक ताला फरमाता है क्या तुम गौर व फिक्र नहीं करते, तुम गौर व फिक्र करो, तुम इसको सोचो, तुम इसको देखो, तुम इस पे फिक्र करो। यानी कि उसकी फिलॉसफी में जाओ, जहां अल्लाह तबारक ताला इस बात को इंसिस्ट कर रहा है कि आप इसमें फिक्र करो। फिक्र कब करोगे? फिक्र तभी करोगे जब आप नॉलेज को एक्सरसाइज करोगे, उसमें समझने की कोशिश करोगे कि what has been tried to communicate with you in that knowledge. अनफॉर्चुनेटली हम उसी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन जो हमें करना था वो नहीं हो पा रहा पूरा। लेकिन टीचर कैन प्ले अ वेरी वाइटल एंड वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल, जैसे मैंने पहले कहा, उसमें जहां पर कि वो इस नॉलेज को ट्रांसफॉर्म कर सकते हैं। अगर हम डॉक्टर कलाम जो मिसाइल मैन हैं, अगर उनके बारे में पढ़ें और उनकी लिखी हुई खुद की किताब पढ़ें, तो उसमें उन्होंने लिखा है एक जगह कि मैं आज जो हूँ मैं सिर्फ अपने 2 टीचर्स की वजह से हूँ, कि उन टीचर्स ने मुझे कुछ इस तरह से पढ़ाया कि मेरा एक पूरा ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हो गया। नहीं तो मैं भी एक ऑर्डिनरी स्टूडेंट होके और जिंदगी पार करके चला जाता। लेकिन आज वो पूरी दुनिया जिनके सामने झुक जाती है, झुकने के लिए मजबूर हो जाती है, उनकी नॉलेज की वजह से, उनके डेडिकेशन की वजह से, उनके इनोवेशन की वजह से, उनके कंट्रीब्यूशन की वजह से, उनकी फिलॉसफी की वजह से, उनके एक्शन की वजह से, वो सारी चीजें जो उनके अंदर आई हैं वो सिर्फ एक टीचर की वजह से आई। तो आप अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह टीचर्स हैं जो आज इस टीचर ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम के अंदर जुड़े हैं। तो आपके पास नॉलेज है, लेकिन जो आपको ट्रांसफॉर्म करनी है, तो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन करने के लिए आपको बहुत सारे इनोवेशंस करने होंगे। रट के क्लास में गए और रटा के बच्चों को रटने की फैसिलिटी आपने दे दी, तो वो कोई टीचर नहीं हुआ। टीचर वो है जो फैसिलिटेटर बने, जो लीडर बने। तो आप लर्निंग कैपेसिटी के साथ, लर्निंग कैप के साथ क्लासरूम में जाएं। उसके लिए सबसे पहले आपको एक अच्छा लर्नर बनना पड़ेगा। तो इन जो आने वाली जो 5 ट्रेनिंग्स अभी आपकी होने वाली है, और ये 4th सेशन हमारा चल रहा है, 4th सेशन है हमारे इस ट्रेनिंग का, उसके अंदर आपको वो सारी चीजें सीखने के लिए मिलेंगी जहां पे आपको प्रोवोक किया जाएगा, जहां पे आपको स्टिमुलेट किया जाएगा कि एक डिफरेंट तरीके से आप चीजों को देखें, एक डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव आप उन चीजों का देखें, और डिफरेंट तरीके से आप उसमें कुछ अपना इनोवेशन करते हुए उसको, जो आपके पास है और जो आपके पास नहीं है, उसको सीख के आप किस तरह से अपनी क्लासरूम में लेके जा सकते हैं। और लोगों की लाइफ को, बच्चों की लाइफ को, स्टूडेंट की लाइफ को ट्रांसफॉर्म कर सकते हैं, ये प्लेटफॉर्म, ये ट्रेनिंग्स आपको ये अपॉर्चुनिटी देगी। तो अब आप कितने बढ़िया लिसनर हैं, कितने बढ़िया अटेंटिव होके आप इस ट्रेनिंग्स को अटेंड करते हैं, ये डिपेंड करेगा इसके ऊपर। और मैं उम्मीद करता हूं इंशाल्लाह कि ये सेशन आपको बहुत हद तक आपकी लाइफ चेंजिंग सेशंस होंगे। ये आपको यहाँ पर सोचने के लिए मजबूर कर देंगे। These sessions will definitely trigger you कि what you have been doing from the last couple of years, from the last decades. I don't know आपकी एजेस कितनी हैं, आप कितने कितने साल से ये काम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन मैं एक लाइन बोल के बस अपनी बात को यहाँ पे खत्म करूंगा कि when I was taking a teacher training in 2010, तो एक मैथ्स के टीचर थे जिनकी भौहें भी सफेद हो चुकी थी। He was around 76-77 years. And he was saying, yeah, young man, what you will teach me? I have spent my whole life in teaching the mathematics. तो हमने कहा ठीक है सर, 2-3 दिन हमारे साथ गुजारिए, फिर देखते हैं। एंड थर्ड डे आफ्टर व्हेन वी हैव मल्टीपल सेशंस, तो थर्ड डे जब हम लोगों ने टीचर्स को कहा कि आप लोग शेयर कीजिए कि आप लोगों ने क्या सीखा लास्ट 2.5 days में, तो ही वॉज द फर्स्ट मैन हु स्टैंड अप एंड स्टार्ट ट्राइंग कि आई हैव lost my 55 year of teaching life because today I come to know what exactly the teaching is, and what I have been teaching, it's totally a rubbish thing. ठीक है, मैंने मैथमेटिक्स पढ़ाया, लेकिन टुडे आई कम एंड रियलाइज कि मैथमेटिक्स मैंने क्या पढ़ाया, कुछ नहीं पढ़ाया, क्योंकि मैंने लोगों की लाइफ्स को ट्रांसफॉर्म नहीं किया, क्योंकि मैंने लोगों को वो नॉलेज को कैसे कन्वर्ट करते हैं इनोवेशन में, वो नहीं सिखाया, बस मैंने 2 to the 4 सिखाया। तो कटिंग द स्टोरी शॉर्ट इज दैट कि ये ट्रेनिंग्स आपको रियलाइज कराएंगी, ये ट्रेनिंग आपको अपॉर्चुनिटीज देंगी, ये ट्रेनिंग आपको गैप फिलिंग का काम करेंगी, ये ट्रेनिंग आपको पॉलिश करेंगी, ये ट्रेनिंग आपकी स्किल कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग करेंगी, और ये ट्रेनिंग आपको वे फॉरवर्ड देंगी, आपको आगे चलने का, दौड़ने का एक मैदान देंगी। मेरे एक दोस्त हैं, वो ये कहते हैं कि वेयर देयर इज अ विल देयर आर मेनी रनवेज। सेइंग तो इंग्लिश की है वेयर देयर इज अ विल देयर इज अ वे, लेकिन उन्होंने उसको थोड़ा सा अल्टर किया कि वेयर देयर इज अ विल देयर आर मेनी रनवेज। तो यू हैव टू चूज कि आपको किस रनवे से किस तरफ जाना है। All the very best to all of you, those who have joined and those who are planning to join, they must join. And thank you, complete AMP team, जो इस तरह की मेहनत करते हैं और बहुत टाइम लगता है रिसोर्स पर्सन्स को लेके आना, टॉपिक्स को सिलेक्ट करना, आप लोगों को मोबिलाइज करना। तो what I can say, make complete full use of this opportunity. Do not try to miss even a single second of this training. All the very best. Jazakallah khaira. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amin sir. Jazakallah khair. Thanks for those words of inspiration and motivation for us. And now, dear attendees, let me introduce to you our speaker for today, Mr. Mohammed Zamir Hussain. Mohammed Zamir Hussain is a certified trainer, career analyst, HR consultant, career counselor, and a motivational speaker who focuses on helping people find fulfillment in what they do and follow a career path that would make their lives astonishingly productive. He is a versatile international resource with over 20 years of experience in training and development, quality and human resource. He has worked extensively in ISO standards, and as an award assessor, he has assessed awards like Dubai Quality Awards. I welcome you to the session, sir. Looking forward for our engaging training session with you as always. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Zainab. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And I felt somewhere why people must be thinking why I am here. Not my introduction doesn't much talk about how I am related to education. Well, let me tell everyone that I am always linked with education. Even today, I am a teacher. I would love, my day is incomplete unless and until I walk into a classroom as a teacher. In spite of being consultant, award assessor, so many things I do, so many caps I wear every day. Thank you so much again. Thank you, Amin Bhai, for that wonderful start. Really your inputs were very valuable. We have our educators, our teachers here, and for them, really, that was very good opening statement from you. Before I start, I would like to thank Almighty Allah for giving us this opportunity to connect with each other and share our knowledge with each other, blessing us with that knowledge and also allowing us to share our knowledge with each other. I think it's a very huge blessing. And thanks to pandemic, even though we don't like to, but still I think we need to thank pandemic Corona, because through which we got to know more beneficial ways of online connecting through Zoom or through Google Meet or whatsoever. So that has made us possible that in spite of me being out of India today, still being able to connect with so many, I think around 600 teachers pan-India, 600 educators pan-India, and still the number is increasing as I am talking. Okay, so after that, I would like to thank you all for coming here, joining us today. As Amin Bhai has already mentioned, let me reiterate the point. We have 5 sessions back to back from today, and this is our 4th in the series. For the previous 3 sessions, we have same topic. We have repeated first, second, and third the same topic for the benefit of all. But this time we have come up with various topics based on your responses. So this is for you, what you have demanded. So please pay attention and take it. And our team would is what I can say is exhausted by creating certificates and disseminating the certificates among you all. So this time they have also come up with a short quiz. So please do take that. Okay. So let's start with the subject. We have a very interesting subject today. Tech-enabled excellence, strategies for raising tech-savvy kids in this digital India era. Okay, a very good topic. We can see 2-3 different segments there. Before I continue, I have seen my previous 2 speakers speaking much of in Hindi also, Hindi Urdu also. So मैं किस में बात करूँ? Would you like me to speak in English only or Hindi Urdu? So please quickly in the chat box, so that I would like to go with the majority. I'm not going to go with whatever you say. जो majority बोलेगी मैं उसके साथ जाऊंगा. Okay, majority so far English. Still increasing in English only. Hindi, Urdu, very few. Okay, some people say bilingual. I don't know which are 2 languages. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, friends. I know, and I got to know how active the participants are. Okay, thanks for that wonderful response. So let me start the subject. Okay, I'll try to speak somewhere in between with Hindi, Urdu also. थोड़ा बीच में बात करूंगा, but majorly let me run the session in English also, so that it creates the impact which I want to create. Okay. So number 1, what are the topics we are covering? आज के सेशन में हम लोग अगले 1.25 घंटा या 1.5 घंटा लगभग, okay, we will be covering these many topics. Number 1, tech enabled excellence, हम उसके बारे में बात करेंगे. Then we'll quickly introduce, थोड़ा सा बता दूंगा आपको डिजिटल इंडिया प्रोग्राम के बारे में एंड उसका इम्पैक्ट जो एजुकेशन के ऊपर होगा. Okay, and then we will see ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म्स का ग्रोथ किस वजह से हो रहा है. Okay, some quick numbers to crunch. मैं वहाँ पे शेयर करूंगा आपके साथ. I'm not going to promote any particular platform, but I'm going to share you in general idea. Okay, तो आपको भी पता चले कि टीचिंग फ्रैटर्निटी में क्या हो रहा है. Okay, and then cultural sensitivity और टेक अडेप्टेशन का जो चैलेंज होता है, जो झगड़ा होता है, हम उसको कैसे थोड़ा सा मिनिमाइज करके हम लोग टेक्नोलॉजी को अडेप्ट कर सके. हाउ वी कैन अडेप्ट द टेक्नोलॉजी इवन विदाउट कॉम्प्रोमाइजिंग ऑन द कल्चर और keeping the culture alive still by adapting the technology, either which ways you say. We are going to talk about that as a last but one topic. And last one, I would like to close with very important, very relevant topic, which we all educators, teachers must understand, is the preparing of our children for gig economy. What is gig economy and how to prepare our kids? That is why the session is about. Okay, if you don't know, don't you worry about that part. I'm here. Okay, so this is what we are going to cover. I hope we are meeting your expectations. And as I told you, remaining 4 sessions are still there. They are going to cover another whole big gamut of subjects, topics to be discussed. So please make use of that. And before I start, again, I'm repeating, please do make a point of your questions, whatever you have. Last 10-15 minutes we'll dedicate for question and answer session. Okay, so we will take up all the questions there. In between, if you ask, maybe your question may be lost. Okay, so don't expect that you have given the question and it is not answered. If you have put the question in between, high chances that it may be missed out. So please keep the questions parked for later on, and toward the end you can ask. That would be really beneficial for all of us. Okay, and no question is a silly or stupid question. Do ask if it is going to benefit even a smaller segment of the available audience today. Okay, so number 1, let me start with what is excellence. Very simple question. Bookish answer would be there, right? But what is your definition of excellence? I have it there in the slide. But what is your definition of excellence, and what is your definition of excellence in education? I want to know that. Can we have some responses now? Okay. Raising hands would not work, friends, because we have more than 100 crowd. We cannot unmute you. Okay. So its number is somewhere around 500 now. Okay. So we cannot unmute you. So please type in there. Perfection and competence in education. Okay. Giving our best to students. To be perfect, outstanding, out of the box thinking. My audio and video is not clear. Oh my God. 100% perfect. Okay. Good in everything. Very good. Rising a successful future citizen. No, we are talking about excellence still. Excellence is 360-degree development. Okay. Sounds very good. Very promising. Extra knowledge. Okay. Making expectations, making or meeting expectations of students. I don't know. Maybe a typos there. Trying to go beyond the level. Which level, sir? Which level, madam? Okay. Excellence means to achieve goal fully. Okay, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Sorry, beyond this, I will not be able to read. Yes, your answers will be there for me to later on do read. But for now, I can read only this many. Yes, you all are right there. Okay, some of us may not have the exact definition for now, but nothing wrong with it still. See, first, please understand what is this excellence and what is that we are trying to achieve in education field, and is it really applicable in education field? And in fact, the rest of the session will make sense for you if you understand and if you are striving for excellence. If you're not striving for excellence, if your college, your school is not striving for excellence, rest of the session would look like it's of no essence to you. So for that reason, let's have some more understanding of excellence. Whatever my dear friends have mentioned, absolutely bang on. You are right there. Okay. So excellence, in simple words, it is not doing ordinary thing. It is not doing the thing like we used to do earlier. Number one, to do something extra, like many of us have mentioned. Now, how much extra? How much extra? So it is almost to the whatever the best possible outcome can become. That is what we are trying to excel for. That is what we are trying to reach. Okay, so every time there is a progress, and every time there is a substantial progress, and that progress is helping us to achieve something extra. Okay, so this is what excellence. Another way of describing excellence would be, we can say simply 100% of whatever we do. Like this session also, if we are doing this session, if we want to achieve excellence in this session, it should have that complete structure, start at right time, end at right time, have a question answer session, have an interaction in between, right? So that's what excellence demands. So that is what we all are striving for everywhere, every time. If somebody is not striving for excellence, is the world is enough for them. But somebody who is striving for excellence, this world is not enough. They want to go beyond the world and look for things possible. Right? So this is what excellence is about. This is what excellence is about. Now let me talk about excellence in education. Let me talk about excellence in education. I hope I am audible. Some people are complaining my voice is low. Please check your speaker in that case.
It's very clear, Zamir.
Okay, Shukriya Faisal bhai. Okay, so now let me talk about excellence in education. That's more important for all of us, right? We all are educators here. Now, if we talk about excellence in education, now first and foremost thing, again, some definitions, but I want to discuss around these definitions. Okay, I have put it here for an intentional purpose. The purpose number one, or the definition number one, education excellence means programs, practices, learning materials, and equipments which have direct impact upon the instruction of the students and the result. Okay, तो हमेशा हम लोगों को ये बात ध्यान में रखना चाहिए, जब भी हम लोग टीचिंग हम लोग पढ़ा रहे हैं, वहां पे तीन चीज होते हैं जो हमको देखना होता है. पहली चीज होती है द कंटेंट, जो सब्जेक्ट हम पढ़ा रहे हैं, राइट? मोस्ट ऑफ अस टीच देयर ओन फेवरेट सब्जेक्ट. सेकेंड वन, आप किसको पढ़ा रहे हैं, राइट? किसको पढ़ा रहे हैं. इनफैक्ट वी हैव टू लव द सब्जेक्ट. At the same time, we have to even love the person whom we are teaching, right? दोनों को प्यार करना है हमको. And the third most important thing we all have to do as an educator is ये दोनों के बीच में भी प्यार बने, ये हमको इंश्योर करना है. The subject should be loved by the student, and the student should, like, love the subject, should fall in love with the subject. This is what our aim should be. I hope I am making sense, friends. Right? अगर हम लोग ये तीन चीज अगर हम लोग करते हैं, तीन चीजों का अगर हम लोग ध्यान देते हैं, that is number 1, okay, कि स्टूडेंट को प्यार करना चाहिए. सब्जेक्ट से प्यार तो हम करते ही करते हैं, राइट? एंड सब्जेक्ट ऐसे पढ़ाएं कि सब्जेक्ट से बच्चे को प्यार हो जाए और बच्चे को सब्जेक्ट से प्यार हो जाए. आई थिंक दिस इज व्हाट वन ऑफ द वेरी गुड डेफिनेशन ऑफ एक्सेलेंस, राइट? कि दिस इज व्हाट शुड बी अवर अल्टीमेट एम. ओके, दिस इज व्हाट शुड बी अवर अल्टीमेट एम, कि हम लोग जब पढ़ाने के लिए ठहरे तो दिस शुड बी अवर मोटिव. एंड इफ दिस इज अचीव्ड, देयर इज नथिंग मच मोर देन दैट. Okay, so much more definition again, उसको भी पढ़ लेते हैं. An academic process by which students are motivated to learn in the ways that make a sustained, substantial and positive influence. बहुत important है. अभी आजकल का जमाना सस्टेनेबिलिटी का है. जो करो वो ठहरना चाहिए. It should stick on. It should be retained. Okay, if it is not being retained, then what are we doing? Like जब I remember when I was entering into the graduation at that time in my state, Karnataka, the semester system got started. Semester system क्या था? जहाँ पे annually साल भर पढ़ाया जाता था, साल के end पे एग्जाम होता था. अभी semester system start हुआ, जहाँ पे क्या हो गया कि लोग 6 महीने के अंदर कुछ सब्जेक्ट पढ़ेंगे, उसका एग्जाम लिखेंगे, and then after 6 months they move to some other subjects, right? So semester system सब लोग समझते हैं. But see the challenge there, what happened? Some of my friends, when I used to talk to them who were doing engineering, fortunately I did BSc, okay, but I saw my friends who were doing engineering semester system. तो उनके पास मैंने ये देखा कि when I asked them when they are in their third semester, जब मैंने उनको पूछा कि भैया ये सब्जेक्ट तुमने फर्स्ट सेम में पढ़ा था या सेकेंड सेम में पढ़ा था, they were unable to answer. They were unable to answer even the name of the subject. बिकॉज हर सेम में 9, 10, 11 या 12 सब्जेक्ट्स उनको पढ़ने होते हैं, उसका एग्जाम लिखना होता है, उसको पास करना होता है. फिर नेक्स्ट सेम में फिर दूसरे पेपर्स रहेंगे. सो नाउ बिकॉज ऑफ दिस चैलेंज, नाउ जस्ट ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड द सिचुएशन हियर, जो लाइक व्हाट्स हैपनिंग विद द ब्रेन ऑफ द चाइल्ड, ब्रेन ऑफ द स्टूडेंट, कि वो लोग क्या कर रहे हैं? रीड इट, रिमेंबर इट, राइट इट, फॉरगेट इट. भूल जाओ, तुमको आगे याद नहीं रखना है, अब तुम अगले सेमेस्टर के सब्जेक्ट्स को याद रखो. Right, friends? Hope you are getting my point. Now, this is what the challenge is. If the students are unable to remember their things just for one semester and beyond, then what is that we are teaching the students for? What is that we are making our students prepared for? So here comes the question of sustainability. Here comes the question of positive impact. Here comes the question of substantial increase in their knowledge, their skills, their attitude, their behavior. ये सब चीज हमको इंश्योर करना है. And then only the excellence can be achieved. And then only the excellence can be achieved. So for this reason, it is very important that we understand what is excellence. We all must strive for excellence. And if we are striving for excellence, then only we will be able to create that impact, that influence what we are talking about. Otherwise, no influence at all. No influence at all. Even you would remember, I think even you would remember, you all will agree with me, हम किसी भी कॉन्सेप्ट को जब हम याद कर लेते हैं या जब हमको याद हो जाता है, we associate the trainer, the teacher who has taught that to us, right? We associate. कभी भी जिंदगी में आप वो फॉर्मूला, वो फिलोसफी, वो कॉन्सेप्ट आप कभी भी यूज करोगे, you will immediately relate to the person who has taught you that concept, who has taught you that formula, who has taught you that theorem, right? So much impact, because that impact is still there. You still remember the person who created that impact. Okay, otherwise if the subject concept itself is not remembered, then the students will not remember you. So in other words, if you want your students to remember you, make sure don't give them your name, don't give your credentials, don't give them your achievements. Just give the subject to them, just give the concepts to them, through those concepts which they can excel in their life tomorrow, in future. And definitely in every walk of life, they are going to apply that. And in every walk of life, whenever they apply, they will simply remember you. They will simply remember you. Okay, last definition, we'll read that also, because the last definition shouldn't mind कि मैंने दो पढ़ा, तीसरे वाले को मैंने नहीं पढ़ा. Okay, so the third definition says that a process that elevates students' level. I love this line. I love this definition. Elevate students where they learn deeply and remarkably. Okay, I was undergoing a corporate interview long back in 2003, and one person interviewed me who was supposed to be my direct reporting manager, and then another person, her boss, who should supposed to be my higher up, okay, senior. So he also was interviewing me. He is like, a very quick guy, spontaneously asking question one after the another. Even before I complete a question, he was ready with another question. Okay, so then he stopped in between, gave a big pause, and asked me a question. I was giving an interview for a trainer. Okay, trainer's position, the corporate job. He stopped for a moment. This was the first time ever he gave such a long pause in his in my interview with him. And then he asked me a question. Zamir, last question. अगर तुमने इसका जवाब दे दिया, I'm selecting you. अगर तुमने इसका जवाब मेरे satisfaction को दिया, so I'm selecting you. I said, okay, sir. Then he said, what exactly is teaching? Tell me in one line. तुम्हारे हिसाब से teaching क्या है? So I also paused for a second and then thought of it, and then I answered, sir, I see teaching as I know something which my students don't know. Okay, so they are at this level and I am at this level. My only task is to go to their level and bring them to my level. And then teaching is complete. Even before I completed my sentence, he said, Zamir, you are selected. He said, Zamir, you are selected. I was surprised. I said, yeah, did I give such a, lovely answer? Such a complete answer? Then later on, after the interview, offer letter I joined, I worked in my territory for a couple of months. And then when I went for an assessment, for my evaluation after a quarter, and when I met this person again, okay, now this time he recalled my interview and said, Zamir, you remember that question's answer you gave me when I asked you that question, what is teaching? I said, yes, sir, I do very well remember. Can you repeat? I just repeated the answer. And then he said, Zamir, I wouldn't have selected you if you'd have told that you are here as a teacher and the student is here. Okay. But when you said you will go to the level of student and bring them here to your level, that is where I selected you. That is where I selected you. I want all the teachers here to please remember this. If you are at your level and you are trying to bring the students, pull them up at your level, this will never happen. This will never happen. So teaching excellence is all about going to their level first, understanding what is that they know currently, and then helping them to elevate, helping them to come up, helping them to push up. That is how you bring them up. And if we all have understood this, trust me, our life, our journey as a teacher will be very easy. It will be very easy. These kind of sessions at times I don't want to do because I don't know your level of understanding. For now, out of 600 plus who are listening to me, maybe it is repetition for 100 plus, maybe for 400 plus, it is a little bit elevation. But for some of them, it could be something out of the box, right? It could be anything. It could be anything. I don't know your level. Maybe I'm wrong in assessing this also. So this is what very important, that in a classroom, if you want to bring up excellence, we have to understand what level our students are and what is the level at which we want to take them. Okay. And if we succeed in that, that is where the ultimate satisfaction lies. That is where the ultimate satisfaction lies. Okay. So thank you for listening. I see some good feedbacks coming up for me there. Okay. So thanks for the feedback there. And that gives me more energy and let me continue further. Okay. So now next one, hope you might have heard of this word, right? EdTech. In India, it is majorly known as EduTech. Okay. But for me, I define EdTech separate. I define EduTech separate. In simple, we'll talk about EdTech here now. EdTech, nothing but it's an amalgamation of education and technology. We all know this. But when can we call EdTech? EdTech is being applied. I have seen recently some ads because I own a company. You can see the right side, Zest. Zenith EdTech Solutions. That's the name of my company. So looking at this, I think social media will throw some ads to me. And wherever it comes, the word comes EdTech again and again, very often in the ads, whichever I come across. And sometimes some people using just one tool, using something, one of technology, using something like, smallest element possible or something, converting what they're doing manually into digitization, converting into a computer, into IT system, they call it EdTech. For me, this is not EdTech. For you also, it should not be EdTech. So now let's define what is EdTech. Okay, because as an educator of this digital era, we all must understand what is EdTech. Okay, the EdTech means, it's no doubt a single line, it's an amalgamation of education and technology. But as I gave a previous definition, we have to love three things: the subject, the content, the student, the content, as well as the love between both of them. Okay, we have to ensure. Now we have three things. Another three things we have is the teacher, okay, the student, and the subject. Okay, the teacher, the student, and the subject. There are three elements. Now the way the teacher teaches, using technology, the way the student learns, using technology, the way the content has been presented, using technology, either of this one or two combination, or all the three, okay, are using technology and creating an impact. The fourth element, creating an impact which normally wouldn't have been achieved with the normal method. Okay, in the normal classroom environment, conventional method of teaching, ये impact नहीं create हो सकता था, but technology के use के कारण ये impact create हुआ है, या ज़्यादा impact बना है, more, much bigger impact has been created because the technology has been used either by the teacher to teach, either by the student to learn, either by the content to present it in a beautiful way, or a combination of two, or all the three, but to create a much bigger impact. If that is done, that is what I call EdTech. उसी को हम लोग EdTech बोलेंगे ना. Otherwise, where is EdTech? लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, पहले क्लासरूम में ब्लैक बोर्ड के ऊपर क्लास लेते थे, ब्लैक बोर्ड एंड व्हाइट चॉक पीस. Then later on they moved to green glass board with white dustless chalk piece. Then they moved to white acrylic board with marker, black markers, colorful markers. Then they also started using glass boards and markers, multicolored markers. And this is still called as old method. Now EdTech they call the moment they adapted a TV screen, a flat panel, an interactive flat panel, they adapted and they started calling it, oh, we are digitized, we are EdTech, we are using EdTech in our classroom. Just by using only that TV monitor screen, touch screen, interactive screen, will it make it EdTech? No. Has it impacted the outcome? If it has given a positive impact on the outcome, then you count it. Otherwise, please don't count it as EdTech. So this is my definition of EdTech, which I hope you all will also agree to that, because unless until the way we teach, unless until the way the students learn, unless until the way the content is presented and the impact much bigger, higher, better impact is created, till then we shouldn't call it as EdTech. Otherwise, if EdTech is creating more headache for the teachers, more headache for the student to learn, better we do not opt it. Right? So for this reason, this is what my definition of EdTech. So we use EdTech, the education enabled by the technology, the combination of IT tools of hardware, software, and that makes our learning journey more easy, more impactful, more retainable, more sustainable, right? So then we have used EdTech. Okay, so allow me to continue further. If you have any questions, as I told you, we can take it up after some time towards the end. Now, next one, very important. Next topic which I want to touch base on. I will not go much detail into this one. That's Digital India. You can also Google it. You can also find it. It's a Government of India program. Many things have been tried to make possible here with this. Okay. In fact, to share the fact with you, which I don't like to, but it hurts somewhere to me also. Many countries have run their country program decades before. We Indians have given the technology to the world. Many technologies we Indians have given to the world. But now we are talking about Digital India. Start from 2019. Start from 2019, this program has started. Somewhere the foundation was laid down in 2015. Okay, so this is very painful, right? Now we are talking about the only reason for this is because India is very vast, very huge, and the population is very huge. Even if you find somebody or so many people nowadays, the CEO, the owner of the companies, or the holding the highest position in IT companies are originating from India, right? We all know this. Okay, I need not elaborate more on that. But still, we have many people till today, they don't have access to mobile. They don't have access to any of the digital device. Okay, 38% of India doesn't have access to digital devices. 38%. Okay, and we see some people who are having 2-3 mobile phones, two laptops, one or two tablets, right? Always holding with them. Yes, they are some exceptional case, but still we are lacking much behind. So for that reason, let's understand here quickly what does Digital India talks about. Digital India is a program to prepare India to be a knowledge future, a knowledgeable future. We should be a knowledgeable country for the future countries, other countries. The focus here is from IT plus IT is equal to IT. Okay, bring up everything with IT, and so that it creates more IT infrastructure, it creates more IT intellects. Okay, focus on making technology central, enabling change. Now there is so much of change which are happening. Many times reactive, very few times proactive, very often reactive, right? But can we make technology as a center while we are changing this? Okay, for example, most relevant example for all of us, National Education Policy came up on 31st of July 2020. Okay, did anywhere we all said that it's a technology centered education system? No, we said we are moving from teacher centered or content centered to we are moving now to student centered teaching method. But we never said technology centered. Okay, many of my friends here who know have started popping up some message about tinkering lab, Atal Tinkering Lab. Again, Atal Tinkering Lab is not only a tech. Atal Tinkering Lab incorporates many concepts of STEM learning so that it becomes available, accessible for many students in the school environment. Okay, but does it goes along with the curriculum? Does the students take some classes in the Tinkering Lab? Does the students give some test or exam in the Tinkering Lab? Is the Tinkering Lab activity becomes a part of the students' progress scorecard? If yes, then it is to be called as a EdTech use. Okay, otherwise just it's a tinkering lab, another lab like many other labs in the school. Okay, coming back to my slide. Sorry if I deviated a bit, but I thought it was relevant there. Then quickly talking about Digital India is an umbrella program where the government working, the way the citizens will use the government programs, where the users or individual citizens will access the government portals, government websites, government apps. Okay, so everything comes under this umbrella, and very important under this is the IT rules and regulations. The country has to come up with their policy framework, the IT legal laws, rules, regulations. Okay, so everything it has to incorporate. So that was a big task which was started in 2019, and by now you will be surprised to know that across state and center government activities, there are more than 3,000 activities which a citizen can avail online. Okay, the Indian citizens across central government and state government can avail more than 3,000 various activities. They can get it done sitting at their own place using a mobile app, a website on the mobile or laptop. They can get this work done. Okay, that's one of the achievements so far. There are many. Okay, once again, continuing talking more about Digital India, there are main three key pillars, 3 key areas for Digital India. Number one, digital infrastructure as utility for every citizen, which is what I was giving the example of. Governance and services on demand. So everything services on governance on demand should be available digitally. And last but not the least, where we all are linked to, related to, is digital empowerment of citizens. Okay, the government of India wants here that every normal citizen of India should be aware of how to use the digital platforms, how to use the digital technology, how to use the digital tools. Okay, we want our students to be technologically equipped, but are we teachers equipped? Are we teachers using the technology to the full extent? If yes, then we are somewhere. Otherwise, we are still far away from that digital India. Okay, continuing more about digital India, the digital empowerment of citizens talk about these 6 pillars again, further sub pillars. Number one, universal digital literacy. Again, very much concerned with we all educators, and that is why even the national education policy talks about foundational numeral literacy. At the same time, digital literacy also it talks about. Okay, so we have to achieve that universal digital literacy and universal accessibility of digital resources. All document certificate to be available on the cloud. So cloud here doesn't mean anything extra. If my fellow teachers don't know what does cloud means on the internet. Okay, the internet is called, in other words, called as cloud for some reasons, which I will not get into for now. Okay, available of digital resources, services in Indian languages. Okay, we all struggle, the vernacular language part, we all struggle. But now if we use the technology, it can be made easily available across various Indian languages. Okay, collaborative digital platforms for participative governance. Okay, so even for that reason also, how the governance can be done. In fact, recently the Telangana and undivided Andhra Pradesh at that time, now the Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, they have digitized their complete property registration. Okay, the complete property registration is based on blockchain concept. Okay, people have that passbook, bank passbook, like property passbook. Okay, and it has got completely blockchain concept within. Based on blockchain, we know only one thing, that is Bitcoins, right? The famous cryptocurrency. Let me give you another fact, share another fact with you here. India has developed more than 10,000 cryptocurrencies. Indian IT companies, Indian IT startups have developed more than 10,000 cryptocurrencies. Okay, but in India itself, we don't have a regulator to regulate that, to control that. And in India, nowhere that digital currency is used as a means of transaction, financial transaction. But people are hiring, other countries are hiring Indian intellect for this reason, to create cryptocurrencies for their country, for their place. Okay, so coming back to the slide again, portability of all entitlements through cloud. Okay, like I just gave the example of property being linked with blockchain and being available on the cloud. Okay, so like this, anything, any vehicle, any physical asset, any movable asset, everything will have a cloud existence, cloud twin. So they will have all the information there on the cloud. Now this is where the world is heading. Okay, I know we are not here to talk about all these things, but I'm here to talk how to bring the relevance to the education part. Okay, so bringing the education part here, there are again 9 pillars of digital India, and among them, as I told you, we will forget all the 8. Let's focus on the 9th one, that is early harvest programs. Early harvest programs. Here it means that not harvest of the agricultural harvest. Here harvesting is all about making or creating digital citizens at a very younger age. That is start from the school era, from the school period. Okay, that is what the Digital India program talks about. And for us, that is the relevant pillar. That is the relevant segment we all fall into. So here lies our responsibility of, first of all, educating ourselves in terms of being a digital citizen. At the same time, try to inculcate, try to make it a part of our curriculum where we teach our students also to how to be a digital citizen. More so, we'll talk in the coming slides. Okay, so digital empowerment of the citizen. Sorry, we have seen this. Now going further, exploring the online platform of the social media, the online mobile apps and all for education purpose. Okay, now that is what is the major thing which is happening. Okay, so now if this is the case, then how are we gonna compete with this? How are we gonna compete with this? Because number one, before I go into this further, I would like to say we all are not competing with this. हम टीचर्स का ये एजुकेशनल टूल्स के साथ कंपटीशन नहीं है. We are not competing as teachers with the online platforms. Okay, I'm again repeating this point, and let me elaborate it now. Why? Because teaching remains teaching, but whatever the flavor, the format, maybe we are introducing the new flavor, new format in which the teaching, the learning is happening nowadays. But still, the matter of fact is that teachers are even required on the online platform. Okay, in fact, the online platform has reduced the student to teacher ratio. Some of the companies have even gone and told in their ad that they will give 2 teachers per student, right? Otherwise, in our classrooms, we have seen 1 teacher to 30 students, 1 teacher to 60 students, sometimes 1 teacher to 80 or 90 students also in many classrooms, right? That's what our normal teacher to student ratio is. Now, because of these online platforms, yes, more teachers are getting hired, more teachers are getting employment, more teacher jobs are getting created. Okay, so it's a please consider this is a good news for you. Okay, now let's crunch some numbers here. Revenue in the online learning platforms market is projected to reach US dollar 4.73 billion in 2023. This is for India. This is for India. Okay, $4.73 billion. इतनी बड़ी इंडस्ट्री बनी है इंडिया के अंदर ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन की. ओके, रेवेन्यू इज एक्सपेक्टेड टू शो एन एनुअल ग्रोथ रेट. आप किसी भी इन्वेस्टमेंट का इंडिया के अंदर CAGR, दैट इज कंपाउंडेड एनुअलाइज ग्रोथ रेट, अगर निकाल के देखेंगे, बहुत सारे का 8 से 14 के बीच में घूमेगा, 8% 14% के बीच में. ओके, बट एडटेक के अंदर या जो ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म्स है, इसके अंदर अगर कोई ऐसे प्लेटफॉर्म्स में अगर कोई इन्वेस्ट कर रहा है, तो यहाँ पे ये दावा किया जा रहा है कि दे विल बी एबल टू रीप अ कंपाउंडेड एनुअलाइज ग्रोथ रेट ऑफ 19.94%. लगभग 20% उनको रिटर्न्स मिलेगा साल भर साल. हर साल उनको 20% इन्वेस्टमेंट मिलेगा, जो कि किसी भी दूसरे बहुत सारे इन्वेस्टमेंट रेवेन्यू से बहुत अच्छा है. Just to share with you, this was from 2015 to 2020. This number was 23%. Okay, 23% था, अभी reduce हो गया 23 to 27. It has come to 19.94. From 25 to 30, it will further go down to around 16 odd or just say 17%. Okay, तो थोड़ा रिटार्डेशन आएगा because लोग ज्यादा पैसा डाल रहे हैं, कंपटीशन बढ़ गया है. Okay, so but still it is much more better, investment avenue for many investors. Okay, this is still a very lucrative part. But then let's continue further. User penetration, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है कि कितने लोग यूज करते हैं. ओके, मोबाइल्स को, एप्स को, और ऐप को कितने महीने तक उसको रिटेन करते हैं. Okay, so that penetration level is 10.3% and expected to hit 16.6%. EdTech tools will be used by more than 16% of the population. Okay, average revenue per user, okay, is expected to cross $33, $32 per year. उतना जाएगा. And in global comparison, we are second to China. Okay, globally EdTech और इसके इन्वेस्टमेंट के अंदर हम लोग सेकेंड है. Okay, with a projected of 21.7% user penetration, the online marketing tool has very big market for China. So similarly for us also, as I told you, we are second in the world. Now ये सब से भी हमको ज्यादा लेना देना नहीं है, हमको कहाँ पे है, where is the relevance for us? Okay, let's talk teaching. So teaching के बारे में अगर बात करें तो number 1, the in scope, ये हमारे लिए अच्छा रहेगा, टीचर्स फ्रेटर्निटी के लिए अच्छा रहेगा when you have third-party online learning platforms like Coursera, Badges, Micro-Credentials, Unacademy, Coursera, Udemy. Okay, there are a huge, big list of such apps. Okay, so this is good thing. ये apps पढ़ेंगे तो इनके ऊपर एम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ेगा, कंटेंट बनाने वालों का, डिलीवरी करने वालों का, टीचिंग करने वालों का, सपोर्ट देने वालों का, सबके लिए बढ़ेगा. Okay, लैंग्वेज लर्निंग प्लेटफॉर्म्स लाइक Duolingo, Babel, okay, इनका भी डिमांड बढ़ रहा है. Online tutoring platforms like Check, Byju's, and many other, okay, even that's also picking up. Some students who are still doing the PG, UG, not UG, maybe PG also we can say, and PhD scholars and all, okay, they are earning through these platforms. Okay, they're meeting out their day-to-day expenses. Okay, online bootcamp platforms, okay, so even that's also there. And some of the things which may not happen with India. India के साथ ये नहीं होगा, वो क्या होगा? University design and delivered course और certificate course programs. इंडिया के अंदर अभी तक इस बात की मान्यता नहीं आई है. We are still not accepting any online degree platforms. Any university also, any registered university is also giving UGC, AICT approved university is also giving that courses online. It is still not allowed. Okay, professional certification courses offered through professional institutions. Okay, so that is also like getting not so possible, because still we are very much regulated in terms of offline education. Okay, language and boot camp courses offered at a physical location. ये तो चलते रह रहा, ये तो चलता है, अभी भी चलता है, आगे भी चलता रहेगा. Okay, many people have those English teaching things and all, but still that will keep on happening, but it will not come and disturb us. Okay, now online platform जो बढ़ रहा है उसके कुछ कारण देख लेते हैं, then quickly we'll move back to education. Okay, so online platform जिस reason से बढ़ रहे हैं, there are a couple of reasons here. Number one, during the pandemic period, India, which was not supposed to adapt the technology so far, okay, it suddenly started to adapt. Okay, it suddenly started to adapt. Okay, so thanks to pandemic, as I said you, number one, there is a growing trend towards personalized and adaptive learning. As we are discussing, what's the advantage of EdTech? The another advantage of EdTech is now here the one size doesn't fit all. A teacher walking in the classroom with preparation for the whole classroom as one. Okay, these days will stop now. We have to come up with adaptive learning, which is adapting to the level and understanding of the average of the class. Okay, we have to come up with personalized learning, where we are catering to the individual learners in the classroom, Okay, this is what technology will help us to achieve. More so the AI, the machine learning and all such tools will make this possible, are making it possible. Okay, just yesterday I was using a tool to generate, AI-based tool to generate question paper, quiz. Other day in Dubai, I met a particular person who has developed an app which is evaluating subjective answers. Subjective answer, you just give a PDF file to that particular software, it will read scan the whole PDF file, prepare questions, and these questions will go online to the student will write the answer, and then it will evaluate. Just again, the rubrics part, definitely you as a teacher have to create, if what all keywords the student has entered or typed there, based on which the marks has to be given, again that rubrics you will give, and accordingly it will evaluate. So you need not evaluate also. Here the student finishes the test, within next 1 minute's time, the answer scores are ready. The scores are ready, right? I can see some of my teachers here taking a big sigh of relief. Wish I could get this tool, right? Okay, so yes, there are many. So continuing further, there is a growing competition among online platforms. Okay, when the competition increases, the more user-friendly solutions will be gained. Okay, the more the competition increases, the more and more user-friendly solutions as end users will get more user-friendly solutions. Okay, going forward, the online learning platform segment is expected to continue its growth trajectory. This is bound to increase, my dear friends, and that is why in this digital India era, we have to create those digital native students in our classroom, but we have to make them digital native professionals. We have to make them digital native corporate employees. Okay, so continuing further, that's not our major subject, so we'll focus on the education side. So education side, the online education market in India is expected to have a staggering 50% growth between 2021 to 2025. Okay, it's gonna be $5 billion for the financial year 2025 industry. So much of money is involved in this, and we are still happy, okay, going to school, taking our regular 4, 5, 6 classes per day, coming back, evaluating the question paper, setting the question paper. Okay, summer vacations, which we all will be waiting for, Dasara Diwali vacations, which we all will be waiting for. That's what we are still happy enjoying. But the other side of the education sector is rapidly growing. Okay, the global e-learning market size is projected to become 370 billion by 2026. 370 billion, just imagine. Out of this 1.1 billion is only for gaming. Okay, people will learn through games. Okay, the games which will have learning concepts is of 1.1 billion, sorry, 110 billion. Okay, rest 260 is for just normal learning. Okay, and it is also having a CAGR of 8.56%. That's why I told you India has got 19.94 CAGR. It's a very good for the edtech industry in India. Okay, so in other words, you have a parallel education industry which is growing at a very rapid pace, provided you can also get benefit from it if you are also using these technologies. Okay, now last 2 points on the slide, let us discuss that also. E-learning combined with conducive policies by Indian government are reshaping the Indian education sector. Two bigger factors. Number one, the advent of NEP 2020. Number two, more number of startups, edtech startups in India. We have got more than 250 successful startups. Successful startups means they started as a startup company 2 years before, and they have completed successfully. They have survived 2 years, and they are making profits after 2 years. Also, they are running the business. They have sustained the startup era, the startup period. They have graduated. Okay, so we have more than 250 such edtech companies, okay, who are surviving. I would not like to take some big behemoths names because still they are making losses. Okay, some big companies whom you must be thinking of, they must be in this list. Sorry to say that they are making losses because of the huge cost they incur. Okay, innovative financing structures focused on outcomes can go a long way in bridging this education gap in India. So we need some better financial structures by which this education edtech industry can be funded. This edtech industry can grow, and this edtech industry can give benefit to the digital India, to the education of India, to the educators of India. Then I think this will have a more better and bigger future. Okay, so allow me to continue, friends. So now, very important, last but one topic for us. We have another 2 topics to cover. One is on the cultural perspective, which I think most of the Indians are concerned about. Okay, and the second one we'll talk about the gig economy, or the last topic for us today. Okay, now before I continue further, quickly I would like to take 2 questions here in between. Okay, just any 2 questions in between, so that I have some interaction also. Okay, so any 2 questions we can take up. Zainab, can you help me with that, please?
Sure, sir.
The one question has come, I believe, already. Quickly.
Why can parenting children in the digital world be challenging in rural areas?
It is gonna be, or why they are asking why?
Why? Yeah.
Can you repeat the question? Why?
Why can parenting children in the digital world be challenging in rural areas?
Okay. See, it's always rural part of India has posed challenge for anything and everything what we Indians have tried to do. Okay, it's not because of the reach. Okay, it's majorly because of the reach is still possible. We can, I think it's not too long for us to cover that reach. We can easily cover that reach. But the biggest challenge there is the adaptability in those areas. The adaptability in those areas is very less because they don't come up with those challenges which will kind of reduce their work. Example, I'll tell you. Like if you say that online classes, let's make one online class for this village, and all the village people, all the village students will attend this online class. So if you tell this in Bombay, if you tell this in Bangalore, if you tell this in Delhi, if you tell this in Calcutta, people will relate. Why? Because they would require 1 hour, 2 hours time to travel to the school. Okay, so for them this makes sense. But when for a rural place, like any rural village you talk about, with a handful population of 10 to 30,000. Okay, so in that places people will say why is online school required? Our children can walk to the school. Okay, no, there are sometimes rains. Sometimes rains, but rest of the day it is sunny, so they will walk. No, it's not good that they walk. They will be crossing the roads and all. They may meet with an accident. No. For that, we'll send one elder person together. He will ensure that, or she will ensure that while students are crossing the road, there is no vehicle coming, or if the vehicle is coming, the student won't cross the road. So like this, they will come up with such solutions wherein they will create that barriers for you to come up with that online education or digital education, or the digital India programs to be flourished there. Okay, because they have very short life, because they have a very short life in the sense very short routine life. Okay, so they have enough of time for all these things. where the time is a challenge, where the quality is a challenge, where reaching out the quality tutor is a challenge, in those places, this online platform suits well. Okay, so and if you can tell that, no, we will teach your rural village students by an IIM IIT graduate or by a faculty from IIM or IIT. Okay, then okay, now this is something good. Sitting at our own place, our students will learn this one. Okay, so this makes a better, like, reason for them to join this program. So that's how I have some suggestions similar to this. We'll come to that on the slides. I hope we have answered this question particularly, Zainab. Can we take one more question and I'll
Thank
go
you
back
so
to the slide
much.
after that?
Sir, yeah, the question was from Meeta Chanda, and the next one we can take from Seema Unisa. We always talk about digital learning, but will it be financially reach in every citizen?
Okay. Very good question, Seema Unisa. Seema. Okay. I don't know what was the name. Seema, I remember. Seema, very good question. Thanks for asking this question. See, number one, all the benefits of IT will be applicable here. Okay, single line answer I'm giving. I'm not going much in detail. All the benefits of IT, technology of computer, software, hardware will be applicable here. Now, let me tell you one example. In a year, on an average, I conduct around 40 personality development sessions of 1 hour or for a day. Okay, personality development session, communication skills, leadership skills, teachers training program, how to adapt to Bloom's taxonomy in the classroom, how to digitize the school, strategic management, many such programs on an average in a year. These are the double-digit number for me. More than 10 times in a year, I do these kind of programs. Now, trust me, if I'm using a blackboard and a chalk piece and I'm doing it in a conventional way, every time I have to write my content there. Okay, what max I can do, I can print my content, prepare a kind of textbook or handouts. I can share it with the people, and every time I have to still make a copy per every student. Okay, now this also is wasting a paper also. Now let's say I have digitized my complete classroom. I have my YouTube channel. I have my online app through which people can learn. And once I will record this, only once I will record my class. Many times people will use. Many times people will see. Many times people will use. So because of this, actually the cost of production to the cost of utilization, okay, it's very less. It's very less in that case. Okay, it is very less. It becomes it's almost at a zero cost. I can tell you that. Almost at a zero cost. It is write once, read many. I'm talking only just one benefit of IT. There are many such benefits which we can talk about. Upgradation is easy. If you create modules, then creating question papers based on modules is easy. Many benefits I can spell out to you. Okay, but this is just one to make you highlight that digitizing at the beginning, it sounds a very costly affair, but once you do it, you are going to use it for 10, 20, 30 years. Okay, you are going to use it for multiple students, multiple schools, multiple villages, multiple districts. Okay, so I think that answers that. So we'll go back to the slide and we'll come back to the question sessions again. I know I am going to get some good, interesting questions to answer. Okay, more than happy to do so. So let's continue further. Continuing further, friends, talking about the challenges, why we Indians are reluctant to adapt to technology in education. Number one, concern around job displacement. Many times we think that the moment the technology will come, it will take away our jobs. Most of the teachers are afraid about that. But the strategy, the solution here is upskilling and reskilling. We all have to learn. We all have to adapt to these technologies. I'll share one vital statistics with you all today. Every session I do share this. By 2030, it is expected that AI and machine learning, artificial intelligence and machine learning will take away 40% of the jobs. 40% of the jobs will be taken away by AI and ML. Okay. Now 40% of jobs are taken, but jobs are not getting completely wrapped up from the earth. Okay, there are jobs, but now there are some jobs which will be always created with the AI and machine learning also. So now if you go on the side of AI and machine learning, you are a teacher who can use AI, you are a teacher who can use machine learning, you will have a wider acceptance, not only your school, your district. Trust me, beyond the boundary of your country, you would be called to do sessions across the globe. Okay, so that is what we require to do, is upskilling and reskilling. That's the answer for that. concern of job displacement. Second one, cultural resistance to change. Many times we think that, no, this is not our culture. This is not the way we should learn. Okay, it has happened many times. Whenever I go into some forums where some religious scholars are sitting, I'm sharing the dais with them, and I always ask, definitely that's my cake. So I'll always tell them to adapt to technology for learning. And then immediately one of the religious scholar will stand and say that, no, please do not, because you don't know from whom you are learning, you don't know what you are learning, you don't know, you can get cheated, you can get the wrong information. So it is always better to learn from a person who is in front of you. I do agree. They can moderate, they can control, but my horizon will open for many learnings. I can learn a particular course which is not available in my city. Okay, so that is what, in the whole period of pandemic, for approximate 20 plus months, I have registered for more than 13 courses, 13 or 14 courses. I completed 6. I have given the certification exam towards the end of 3 or 4, and I have got the certificate for that. Other 4, 5 I have for my knowledge. I have learned. Yes, it is here for me. And there are many which I didn't even start. 2 or 3 I didn't even start also. But throughout the pandemic, I did register for 13, 14 courses, sitting at my own place, sitting in my home. The best utilization of my time. Okay. So that's what cultural resistance. Many people think that it is not okay for us to adapt to this technology. No, it is very much required. First, we have to get educated and awareness. Many people, even I was talking to one of the company here who as I told you some time back, they are developing a tool where AI is AI is evaluating the script, answer scripts. But when I told this person about VARK learning model, the visual learner, auditory learner, read-write learner, kinesthetic learner, I told them there's a science here which you have to adapt to, which your tool also should work on. Then the person said, no, there's nothing of this kind. Actually, you know what, when the child is growing, in what way he learns, that becomes his adaptive style, that becomes his dominant style. I said, okay, sir, sorry, I'm wrong. I take back my words. Okay, so that's the challenge, friends. Many people would not love to have change. There is a resistance to change. Many times people feel that the moment the change word comes, we are going to die. No, if you can survive the changes, if you can lead the changes, you are the leader. If you can proactively you are the first to adapt the change, you are the leader. Okay, I'll give you best example of Nokia being the mobile market leader in India or across the globe. They did not adapt it to touchscreen. When the developers of Android came to them and they said, would you like to adopt this touchscreen model? They said, no, we will not like to. We are market leaders. Then a very small company by name Lava was the first mobile which came up with touchscreen. Okay, and then Samsung took this technology, and Samsung capitalized on this technology. Samsung made use of this touchscreen technology. Samsung came or ruled the market. Even today, it is ruling the market because of this technology. Otherwise, it was very difficult for Samsung as a mobile vendor to penetrate the market with so big players in the market like Alcatel, Lava, okay, Nokia, and others. So this is a very beautiful example, right? So we all can relate it to education also. Ethical and privacy concerns. Many times, many teachers think that if I make my class global, available on YouTube, on the cloud, then other students will learn from me and they will teach. They will also become teacher. I will not get students. Okay, so this is another privacy concern for many teachers. Many people can take it like, there is too much of transparency, there is too much of this. No, but there are many ways which you can still control. There are copyrights on the IT platform also. Okay, last but not the least, language and cultural barriers. Many times we think that, like here, if I'm talking in the AMP's platform, I can tell that how many of us have digitized Urdu content on the IT infrastructure. How many of you uploaded any Urdu related books? We are day in, day out, everybody keeps talking about Urdu schools are dying. There is no upliftment for Urdu. We should do this, we should do that. Why don't you digitize the Urdu content? Why don't you make it more popular? It will automatically become popular once it is digitized. Have you given the Urdu digitized content to the NCRT or the state's CRT syllabus framework people? So definitely they will adapt to it. If they adapt, then people will accept. If people will accept, people will learn. And people will learn, it will grow. Okay. So this is what very important, my dear friends. We have to work on this. Okay. So the next one, cultural sensitivity. Yeah, some of us might have this one. Okay. Some cultural sensitivity talks. Okay. Our Indian culture is actually, we think otherwise, but basically we are very tolerant. We are accepting to foreign values. You talk about any religion and their acceptance to other foreign things, it's very wide accepted. Okay. Coexistence is the, like, in India, the biggest challenge is the coexistence of various ages here. Okay, people of varied ages, people of various backgrounds. We have tribal people also still living in India. We have, like, modern community also still living in India. Okay, the respect of individuals, the open attitude of science, all this is quite acceptable, and this we should all use to, like, adapt technology in our classrooms. Okay, some important things, like, we all must know. Ensuring learning environment is physically and culturally inviting. That is very important for all of us to adapt technology into the classroom, and while we are teaching, while we are still enabling the cultural aspects. Okay, accommodating the differences in learners through student-centered instructions. This is also very important. Like I give this example very often. The national education policy talks about early child education happening in the mother language. Now just imagine how wide accepting fact this is. Okay, earlier days we used to have English, we used to have Hindi, we used to have any other state language in which the student used to learn. There are many communities for whom the language has never been taught in the schools. Now even that can be taught. Those teachers will get the job who can teach Pashto, who can teach Parsi, who can teach Tulu, who can teach some other language like Tulu language. We don't even have a script. So there are many such languages which students speak daily in their house, and the NEP wants to ensure that the learning should not stop because of the language barrier, and so let them learn in their mother tongue till the class 5th. Okay, so for that reason, it is very widely acceptable. We are accepting this, we are accommodating this. Okay, stressing collective of interactions as well as individuality. Okay, so we all, as I said you some time back also, one size doesn't fit all. We all do remember, we all should remember, we all should agree on this. And at the same time, we should all come up with diversified content for our classroom, where we are adaptive to the classroom average, and we are also accommodating every different type of learner in the classroom. Okay, affirming students through cultural connections, particularly in relation to the curriculum. Like I always challenge some of the schools whom I know, the management, they usually celebrate, if there are Muslim schools, they want to celebrate Eid, Bakri, these, that, and all. Okay, Prophet Muhammad's birthday. There are some other Hindu schools, they want to celebrate especially Ganesh Puja, the other things like Dasera, Diwali, and all this. There are some Christian schools, they want to encourage students to have a program for Easters, have a program for Christmas. Okay, why not we have a cultural event of every religion in the school? At least one cultural event of every religion in the school, or you don't do for any culture, or you don't do for any religion. Okay, so that brings the cultural adaptivity more in the school environment. Okay, I hope this makes it more relevant. Now continuing further, more 7 reasons through 7 suggestions which we can make our culturally adaptive content. Integrate digital content into your instructions. Don't keep it separate. First you do your normal classroom and then show something. We have some animated videos, we have these, we have that. No, please integrate both of them. 1. Number 2, ensure the digital content is of high quality. The moment you use low quality videos, low quality worksheets, low quality activities, low quality tinkering lab activities, low quality some other things, students themselves will find it inferior quality, and they will not adapt to it. So whatever you use, please use of high quality. Okay, 2nd. 3rd one, use digital activities such as high quality graphics, games, virtual labs, robot and math science challenges to motivate the students. Now again and again, expose the students to fall into this project based learning or activity based learning kind of activities. Okay, so let them jump into it. And very definitely, number 1, the motive, the objective is also very important. It should in sync with the curriculum of that year, that grade. Number 2, always give debriefing to the students after the activities, that what they have learned, what they have done, in what way they have, what was the problem, and what was their approach in solving that particular problem. Okay, if you are not going to debrief, if you're not going to connect it back with the subject, it will not make sense. It will not make sense. Okay, Build students vocabulary for those terminologies. Let student talk about, like, video, animation, images, worksheet, graphics. Okay, they must understand all these things. First of all, our teachers must understand, our educators must understand, our management must understand. Okay, so that's a bigger challenge on the first, but yeah, this is what thing should be. That's the fourth one. Fifth one there, and engage students in experiences. Okay, we have now augmented reality, we have now virtual reality, we have now called as mixed reality. We had internet of things, now it has become internet of everything. Okay, so many things are there. Now let me give one example. An aerostess has to be trained for 6 emergency situations under her aerostess learning program. Earlier they used to read it only from the manual. Only one activity they started doing, a dummy plane like structure was there, will be there on the airport, which they will burn, and a fire, like fire emergency case is real drill done there, a real time drill done on the that plane which has caught fire, which is not an actual real plane, it's just a metal, like ball, metal plane. So that was the only thing they used to do real life, but the remaining 5 activities they will never do live. Then they don't know how actually to react in that emergency situation, they will only read. Now, because of this augmented reality and virtual reality like experiences, now these companies, there are some companies who have developed such exercise wherein if the plane lands on water, if the plane lands in ice area, if the plane lands in desert, okay, or many such different scenarios wherein, like if the oxygen level has drastically reduced in the flight. Okay, all such situations mock that simulated situations can be created through this virtual and stimulated environment, and students or participants using augmented reality and virtual reality classes can really do this almost near to practical, near to reality exercise. So like this, can we teach our students also? Can we teach our students how would happen that if you land up on Mars, where the gravity is less, how would you move there? How about if you go to Alaska, where it's all there is no sunlight, there is no there is so much of low temperature there, and how would still survive? So like these kind of situations we can put across again and again to our students, so that they get exposed to various conditions, various peoples, various atmospheres, and everything they can learn in various ways. Okay, and close the belief gap. People thinking their technology is there for the technology is their enemy. Please reduce this gap. Okay, and know your students and communities. We all as a teacher must understand every student different. We must understand how every student is different from the others, how every community is different from others. Okay, love your community but don't hate any community. Okay, love your community but don't hate any community. Okay, that's what one line I would say for educators. Okay, then cultural responsiveness can happen by answering these 5 questions. If you can answer these 5 questions, your classroom, your school is culturally responsive. Number 1, is the instruction relevant to students' lives and the world around them? Like I'll give an example. I use psychometric tool to career guide students, and there we have a tool by name multiple intelligence. In multiple intelligence, there is one of the multiple intelligence, or one of the type of intelligence is musical intelligence also. We have many Muslim communities, many Muslim people, many Muslim community people who will never listen to music because it's a kind of haram in that religion. Okay, so in that case, so how do we still test that student? Even though we know that the student doesn't like music, we should eliminate, and still the test should continue, and the student should test the ability of that child. Okay, so this is just one example there. Is your teaching preparing students for future ready? That's why our last topic will come in some time now, gig economy. Okay, do the instructions resources enhance students learning? Do the instruction resources reflect the students in any way? वो students centric hai ya nahi? That is what the NEP also talks about. And how is what you are teaching going to impact or change the student's life? That's what we started with, right? Okay, so now our last part, preparing our students for gig economy. So people who have their questions, get ready with pen and paper and ready to type. Okay, I'm also gearing up to answer those questions. Okay, now what is gig economy? Gig economy, in other words, in simple words, please remember this is applicable to we teachers also. We teachers also right now also. Okay, what is this gig economy? Gig economy stands for, or it is nothing but for freelancers. In future, day by day, the full-time jobs will be reduced. We have already seen now work from home culture being encouraged by many companies. In fact, many jobs nowadays, wherever they are listing, they are putting up very clearly work on site, work from home, or work from home, or work from office. Okay, very clearly, explicitly they are mentioning. Okay, now after some time, what will happen is, like doctors, they are not being employed. Sometimes they're employed, sometimes they're working at various hospitals. 4 hours here, 6 hours here, 8 hours there. Same thing with the teachers also. Same thing with the accountant. Since the time India has started GST, many accountants are not working in one company now. They are going to different companies, managing their GST accounts and all. Okay, instead of working in one company for 30,000 rupees, I'll work for 10 companies for 5,000 rupees. I'll earn 50,000, boss. Instead of 30,000 per month, I'll earn 50,000 per month. Okay, so that is what is called as gig economy, where the people are not getting employed. It's not a full-time job. It's not a full-time office. People are working at various different levels, different places. You must have already heard of this Amazon Web Services, AWS. People sitting at home, they are buying some products they are physically not touching at all. They are hosting it in some Amazon server. They are selling it. Somebody will online pay and buy it, and online itself it will be delivered to that person. This person doesn't even touch these products. He will buy it. He will host it on the Amazon web server. He will put an ad and he will sell it to the other person. Okay, so like this, these are some of the examples of how the gig economy is propelling, and it is progressing, it is increasing day by day. And as per the surveys, it says that whole of US, the United States, has got more than 45% freelance consultant workers now. Only 55% of the people are employed, 100% or full-time employed people. 45% are gig economy people. They are not working for one company, one job. Okay, and it is not necessary they're doing the same job in every company. They can do different job in different companies at different times. Okay, so this is what we have to prepare our students for, and for that reason, you can make a living without stepping into any office. You need to think like an entrepreneur, like a businessman. You should stay relevant. You should learn the things, forget the things, relearn the things, learn the new things. Okay, unlearn the old things, learn the new things, and keep growing. People skills will become more important in this era, because every time they have to deal with different people of different companies and do the work for them. Okay, and for this gig economy, quick skills which all the students would require to develop: number one, patience; number two, open-mindedness. This is not this is not good, this is why, this is not culturally fit, this is that. Okay, so they should come up with a very broader sense of accepting the services and products. Okay, creativity should be there. The way they market, the way they come up with the solution, the way they give the solutions to the companies. Okay, resilience. Maybe they must be in the business there will be many ups and downs, so they must have that capacity. If they fall, they should be again stand up, come back, do the business again, and stand up again, and touch the sky this time. Okay, that resilience nature is also required. Industriousness. Many times, many people start some business. I meet them and they are like, I have started this business. I simply ask them one question: what is the value add you are doing? आपके पास जब प्रोडक्ट आता है तो आप क्या करके उसको आगे भेज रहे हो? What is it value add? आपके पास आने के बाद प्रोडक्ट के साथ क्या हो रहा है भाई? आप ऐसे प्रोडक्ट इधर से खरीद रहे हो, उधर से बेच रहे हो, तो सामने वाला किधर से भी खरीद सकता है. If you're just trading, buying the product from one person and selling to other person, the other person can buy it from the first person, right? Why they need to come through you? So for that reason, you must do some value add in between. If you do that value add, for example, sugarcane, you can sell sugarcane to buy from one person and sell to another person. But what you are doing, you are buying sugarcane from one person, you are making a juice out of it, and you're selling the juice to another person. So instead of 2 rupees per cane stick, you're making a 10 rupees by selling that glass of sugarcane. This is industriousness. This is where our students should learn to make money. This is what we have to teach for the gig economy for our students. And last one, empathy. Okay, countries should not be selling war equipments, arms and ammunitions. Okay, if you have empathy towards the other fellow human beings, you will not sell that, and you will not make a war between two countries just to sell your products. Okay, so I hope much of the things are clear here. So the list of gigs goes on beyond this list. There are many things. Even photographer, if you talk about, even if you talk about a person who is in Dubai, I see some people coming and cleaning the houses, graphic designer. Okay, we have some people who are working in the marriages. We have some magicians. We have some tutors. We have some drivers. We have some musicians. So people are not working in one school. Recently, I saw one dance teacher in my place. Dance teacher teaches 6 hours in one school every week, 6 hours in another school one per week, 6 hours in another. So every week he goes to 24 hours to 18 hours to different schools, and he's earning much more than any subject teacher by working in one school only. Okay, and last but not the least, some quick platforms for these gig workers. Even you can also go and search as it online tutor kind of things, right? Okay, we have Upwork, we have Fire, we have remote.com, we have weworkremotely.com. Okay, we have freelancer.com. So there are many such websites which are allowing freelancers to register themselves, and then they work and then they make money. This is how the world is growing, changing day by day. Okay, so now towards the closing, to raise techno savvy kids, these are the 4 big tricks which I can talk about. Number 1, set boundaries. You need to set boundaries, how long and how much your child will use the device. Number 2, encourage creativity. Just don't let them watch the things on there. Let them come up with creativity, see the things there and do the things on their own. Okay, that's what. Third one, foster critical thinking. Ask them questions on the things, the content, what they are seeing. Okay, the critical thinking, one simple example, I think last time also I gave this. If you're just talking about various reforms which were brought by the various rulers in the earlier time, we are just giving them in history some social, question and answer. This reform was brought by Ashoka, this reform was brought by Akbar, okay, blah, blah, blah. But can we pose a question like, think and tell which is the best reform according to you and why? Here you are developing the critical thinking of the child. Don't and tell them very clearly there is no right or wrong answer. So tell them according to you which is the best reform and why. Just let them substantiate their answer. Okay, so if they can do that, then they are developing, they are comparing, they are developing that critical thinking in themselves. And last but not the least, embrace technology. Okay, technology is not a hindrance. Technology is not going to stop us. Technology, it's up to us to how to use the technology to our benefit. Okay, the early we know to adapt to our benefit, the more benefit it will give us. Okay, simple as that. Last slide towards tips I can say in the tricks. Some are repeated and some are new. Set healthy boundaries. As I told you, lead by example. We should set an example as a parent, as a teacher. We should set example as to how the technology can be used for benefit rather than any good or bad use. Okay, next one, teach digital literacy to our students in the classroom. That's what we are encouraging. That's why we started with Digital India. Okay, encourage creativity. Again, repeating here also. Foster responsible online behavior. How the student should behave. Yeah, just to share the fact with you, many companies are checking social media platform or for the prospective employees. Anybody who has applied, they have taken up the interview. Before they extend the offer, they are going and checking how is this person on WhatsApp, how is this person on Facebook, how is this person on Instagram, how is this person on Snapchat, how is this person on LinkedIn. I'm sharing the fact with you. I myself, I check for many candidates. I have checked it. And if somebody is saying that, no, I don't have a presence, I'm safe. No, you are giving a bad impression because you must be a digital citizen. Okay, practice open communication. Open communication, again, a very big taboo in our country, talking about puberty, talking about any other thing of that sort. We feel it's a very bad thing. Only parents should do. We should do it in alone. We should do it one-on-one. We should do it only when required. No, let's make it a open, sessions for that. Okay, many such things which should be made open. Encourage problem solving and critical thinking in the students. Again, repeat but required. Teach online safety, how students can keep themselves safe even while using the online platform. Don't get exaggerated or excited with any of the phishing message, mails, SMS, whatsoever. Promote healthy tech habits, when to take the break, how long they can stay at the screen, after how much minute, how much break they should take. Okay, everything should be taken care of. And last but not the least, stay informed and be engaged. You stay informed what's happening in this era. Okay, what's happening with the apps, what's happening with the technology side, and how much we should keep engaged with. Okay, we do many times social media unintended, like browsing, no intention, just scrolling. This is a one of the biggest time waster for nowadays. Okay, but we should do a purposeful visiting such websites, purposeful visiting to the social media things. So with this, I come to end of my topic. I am open for questions. We are, I think, 5 minutes before time. I have finished. No, I have finished 10 minutes late. So we are open for questions now. Zainab, if you can help me to take the questions.
Thank you so much, sir. But can we have a small session with Faisal, sir, regarding NTS before we go ahead?
Yeah, that would give me a break also. That would be really nice of you.
Sure, thank you so much. I would request Faisal Bhai to please enlighten us about the NTS National Talent Search.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, India. How are you? Very excellent session once again by Zamir Bhai. And I'm here to brief you about our very prime project from Association of Muslim Professionals, an annual activity which we do every year for last 4 years, Alhamdulillah. And this year again, we are engaging students from across the country and educators and teachers and schools, college and universities, Alhamdulillah, on this project, which is known as National Talent Search 2023. A competitive examination with a clear intention to provoke and invite and ignite minds for thinking process towards competitive world, which is waiting for them beyond their campus. There's a level of competition happening inside the campus, but there's a larger and a broader and a bigger competitions happening outside the world. And people who are making it to the merit are making their lives very much beautiful and smoother. And we are trying to prepare our students for this challenge, inshallah ta'ala, through this National Talent Search examination. I would like to share the screen, the website, what we have, and through that we'll go shortly through each thing. Now, the categories what we have in this engaging the students is senior degree college, that are the undergraduates, junior and intermediate college, in class 11th and 12th, you call PUC in some cities. And then you have a school category, that is class 8, 9, and 10. The examination date is 25th of November 2023, and the time of examination is 11 a.m. Before we go ahead, there are rewards and benefits for students who will be appearing offline exam, inshallah ta'ala, because this year, alhamdulillah, we are conducting this in dual modes, online mode and offline mode. So there's a specific and special awards and benefits for students appearing for this exam in offline mode. That is paper and pen mode across more than 350 examination centers in India, throughout in every state, inshallah ta'ala. There's 100% scholarships in IIT and NEET coaching. We have added other courses with 21 training partners. That says 20, but updated to 21 training partner, and that total amount goes to 10 crore plus. The scholarship seats will be given to meritorious selected students on this examination. There's a cash prize of more than 5 lakh rupees to be given in each of the 3 categories. 30,000 for the first prize, 20,000 for the second prize, and 10,000 for the third prize. Position 4 to 10 will get 2,000 each. Position 11 to 50 will get 1,000 each. Position of state, each topper will get 1,000 each. There's an e-certificate, and we'll be selecting 200 candidates. 200 candidates for 20 lakh rupees. That is 10,000 for each merit come means through indiazakat.com. The details are given on the website. I'll just go through the website. There's 3 videos which you can go through, and the students can go through. Benefits of the students, they'll be getting all these competitive examination preparation, plus they are BSc, BA, and BCom integrated with UPSC coaching also included in this coaching. There's UPSC, IIT, JEE, NEET, CAT, CUT, CLAT, NDS, CDS examination preparation given by these training centers, alhamdulillah. The exam mode is online and offline mode. The difference only between online and offline mode is that we'll be giving e-certificates on online mode, but rest of the awards and rewards and the cash prizes is only for the physical mode examinees, inshallah ta'ala. The registration is happening through mobile app only, that is known as AMP World, and it is available only on the Google Play Store. and the students have to make the registration. Immediately they'll get the registration details with the user ID and password. The online students will get the examination paper link. Just a second. Zainab ma'am,
जी फैसल भाई.
can you please continue? I have an emergency, please.
Thank you so much, Faisal bhai.
Thank
Now-
you.
Now
Sorry,
we are
ma'am.
open for the question and answers related to the
SLB,
topic.
please stop the screen sharing.
Dear attendees, we are open for the question and answers related to the topic that has been discussed. So please post your questions in the Q&A box. First question is it possible to create digital material with a 6 to 8 hours daily school schedule? Because creating such material takes a huge amount of time to prepare.
First of all, still the question itself is not clear. What is the subject and what is the purpose? Okay, and for what audience you are creating and for how long you want to engage the audience. Okay, see, I come up with all those questions. So based on that, I can tell you how much time is required. See, every day, every time, most of the time I do new sessions when it comes to consulting, when it comes to training, when it comes to so creating a presentation for me, it's a day-to-day task. Every day I have to do it. So there are many people who are doing this as a professional exercise also. We call them as instructional designers. Okay, so there's particular segment of people who do this instructional designing. They know how to create this. There are some graphic designer who create graphics. There are some video or animator creators who do that also. So first thing very important is everything cannot be done by one person. I do agree. If you have that zeal and urge of doing creating an online platform and creating something for the students, then definitely you will find time and do it. Okay, but for that, first of all, what is the purpose? If there is a money involved, definitely we will definitely find time, extend beyond the office hours and still do it and try to earn some money out of that. If it is compulsion coming from the higher authority, then we will do it, even extending our hours. If there is no compulsion, if there is no benefit for us, then definitely we'll always keep on making excuse of no, I don't have time, I'm always busy with my classes, my preparing question paper, my evaluation and other things. Okay, so first is the goal, why you want to develop this content. If you have a real very good goal, definitely you'll find time and you will go and create this. Trust me, as I told you in my session also, this is a one-time effort. Anytime any digital content is a one-time effort. You put it once and you can reap the benefit of this online content for many times, for multiple times. Okay, so we have to find time for this. And the very important thing is the objective behind it. I have seen many people preparing presentations. Many people can't even bring up a connectivity between one slide to another slide. Many people try to put so many things on one slide itself. So there are all such instructional designing concepts we must know. If you don't know, then definitely we will take time. If you don't know how to use PowerPoint, it will take time. If you don't know how to use Microsoft Educator's tool, or if you don't know how to use Google Educator tools, then definitely it will be a challenge for us. Okay, so if you don't know, you can take help of somebody. But first fix up a goal, then you decide whether you do it or somebody else will do it on your behalf. You pay it or you get it done, you do it on your own, and then get the content development. So it's not about 6 to 5, you having the time or not. It's all about priority, boss. Okay.
Thank you so much. So next question is from Bisma Bhatt. First of all, thank you so much for an amazing webinar. The question is how to reduce screen time for lower primary kids.
Okay, see, screen time, it's somewhere not part of our subject today, but still I would love to answer this question because many times the screen is so attractive, so appealing, so finding relevance for the new age kids. So it is actually designed for them, and not only for them, even the old age people also nowadays are too much stick to the glued to the screen. So screen, if whatever benefit the screen is giving, there should be something more beneficial on the other side. Right? If they are supposed to do some physical activity, then it should be more beneficial than what they are doing online. So we have to create those offline contents, very important. That is why I try to tell the educators that a student who is coming to you as a child of his or her house, okay, they will be using video content on a daily basis. sometimes after going back from school to say 4 to 6 in the evening, or 6 to 8 in the evening, or sometimes 8 to 10 in the night, they are watching tablet, TV screen or something. Now these people who are consuming so much of video data, we get them in the classroom and we want them to learn through the textbook, it becomes really impossible for them to learn. They get bored. So for that reason, we have to bring up some digital content in our classroom also. Likewise, in the house also, it's a responsibility of the other elders in the house to cultivate the habit of people learning from mobile, apart from mobile, people reading the textbooks, people reading newspaper, people doing some other activities, people doing gardening, people doing brisk walk, people doing some exercise, people doing some cycling. So we have to come up with those. We have to make people play those old era games, so that it will be really helpful. I'm surprised nowadays in some house where we walk in, we don't even find a bat and ball. Okay, it's very difficult to find a bat and ball. I remember in my high school days, which I played Gilli Dandul, if you might have heard of that. It was a very low profile game at that time, but we played it for a very big age. In fact, we high school classmates, we entered into various professional courses. We get into professions also. After that also, still we came together sometimes and played that Gilli Dandul game. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell is those physical games attachment, or the benefit of those physical games, should be made more relevant to the child. And you control the child by giving the tablet, like my wife does. I always give again this example also, that she has made a rule that if you pray one salah, you will get tablet for 5 minutes. Okay, so they pray, without fail, they will pray 5 salahs and they will get the tablet for 25 minutes in a day. Okay, so this is one just example. I'm not always asking you to follow this example, but just one. But limit your child's screen time to maximum 40 minutes in 24 hours, not more than that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Next question from Afroz Sheikh. How can we meet international digital teaching standard?
How can we
meet international digital teaching standards?
Okay, first of all, as far as I know, there are no international teaching standards. Okay, it is nothing defined. Very important thing is, what is the objective of your session? Like, you create your teaching plan, right? You have your classroom teaching plan also, your session plan, teaching plan, different people, different names. Okay, so you create that. You also write in 1 hour what is the subject you're going to cover, how you're going to cover, what are the props you need, what are the resources you need. You do it for the offline session also. Similarly, for online also, what is the objective that you want to meet, and you meet that objective. That is important. Okay, like I feel very happy. I'm not exaggerating myself, but I think I started my session, and less than 10 minutes time, I could see many people putting up some message in the chat box that wonderful session. Okay, or whatever the way the praising it started. So less than 10 minutes, the praising started. Why? Okay, because the content was relevant for them. The content was what they were looking for. The content makes sense to them. Okay, they are learning something new. And if you are giving this, that's more enough. Okay, that's more than enough. Now, there are some standards based on IT. There are some standards based on instructional designing. There are some standards based on the place where you are doing the training. Okay, so only those standards have to be met. Like, for example, I will tell you, there's one association globally called as American Talent Development. Okay, it was ASTD, American Society of Talent and Development. Okay, then it is ATD now. So ATD has got some certifications also. So some people can do those certifications also for them. Okay, and also different softwares are there. Like if you want to create a online tutoring teaching module, then you need to follow some Scrum standards. Okay, if you know the Scrum standards and how a teaching module can be created, you are certified for that. You can do that. And even if you don't have all these things, if you create a customer-centric presentation, customer-centric session, that's more than enough. Okay, no standards. Okay, next question.
Thank you so much. Next question from Sami Unisa. Sir, if schools are not digitally equipped, there should be check from education department before renewing the school license, so that our future generation is not left behind in the race of digital world. Will it be possible?
It's kind of already initiated with the National Education Policy 2020, where we are looking out for such things in the coming time. And already there are many such things which are always checked. Even for issuing a new license to the school, we have a checklist. We have a 100-point scorecard. We have even for the renewal purpose also. But see, the major thing I keep on telling again and again is, if we still stick on to examination pattern of only paper-based exam. Okay, then all these things, checking, doing nothing will be of essence, because ultimately what matters to the parents is that there is only one scorecard in which all the subjects are getting scored, right? So they want to see only that. You talk about holistic development, you talk about 21st century life skills, you talk about IT skills, you talk about these, you talk about that. They will say, no, jo scorecard mein aa raha hai, mere liye wo important hai. Okay, so first thing is the scorecard, the marks card should change. If the marks card is changing, if the parents get to know that the children are getting assessed on so many aspects, and these aspects are getting graded, rated, scored, okay, and only then everybody will pay attention to it, and then the regulators will come and check. For now also, there are certain number of PCs which are required in every school, majorly CBSE lessons, state syllabus. There are some student to teacher ratio to be maintained. There are some square meters of ground to be maintained. There are some number of washrooms to be maintained. All these things are there in the scorecard for the schools. Okay, how many do that? How many? We all know how the check mechanism works. Okay, good idea. There are many such ideas, but very difficult to implement unless and until, as I told you, the end objective should be also having some weightage for these things. Then only it will be incorporated. Till then, it will not be incorporated. We all will be doing the what the lip service only. Okay, only we will do bol bachan karte rahenge hum log, aur kuch nahi hoga. Okay, next question, Zainab.
Thank you so much. Next question, Sumaya Siddiqa wants to know which application is best for class 4 students to learn different subjects covering the universal syllabus or Indian syllabus.
See, there are no app for me. I say no app. First is the teacher. Okay, so if the teacher is good on that app, then definitely they might have thought, well, even I have not used any such app. I have not. I never encourage and in fact on this platform I don't want to name also any one platform, because people take it as marketing, and I don't want to market for anybody, and I don't want to demarket many others. Okay, so please excuse me for that. But you can find out, and more relevant I always say is, see, I have told this in between also, that's a VARK learning style. The video, audio, visual learner, auditory learner, read-write learner, kinesthetic learner. Your read-write learners will learn from your textbook. Okay, your auditory learner will listen to you in the classroom, and they can comprehend, and also they can read the answers loud, and they can remember the answers, they can recall and write. The visual learners usually learn with the graphics, images, pictures. Okay, so for them, those videos sometimes makes makes relevance. Otherwise, those apps and all is not so gonna make relevant for those people who are read-write learner or who are auditory learners. Okay, and kinesthetic learners are those learners who learn by doing. So for them, we don't have scope till 11th and 12th as per the current curriculum, and in the coming NEP curriculum, it will be from 9th when the practicals will start. From the 6th standard, we'll have Viva Vo start. Okay, so that will be the period when these things will become more relevant. But for now, no app I would like to recommend. I would say first the teacher, and if the teacher is good on that app, then definitely you will learn from that teacher. Okay, so please search. Excuse me for that.
Thank you so
Next
much, sir.
question,
And so next question is from Mohammed Shahid. What sort of creativity we can create in kids through digital device like mobile?
Okay. See, definitely mobile has got much more advantages than any offline mode you use. Okay, when it comes to creativity also, I was just, I usually recommend this. Again, I don't want to recommend. There are many apps here where usually I saw this one child playing this game where there are two initial letters which will come on the screen. Okay, just two letters. For example, SH. Okay, so SH comes, and then the person should type other letters and try to generate as many words as possible. This will not only increase his vocabulary, this will not only increase his response time, this will also increase his memory power, this will also increase his critical thinking in terms of trying to recall only those words which starts with SH, okay, as the syllable. So there are many such activities where creativity can come forward. Creativity doesn't mean only painting, drawing, coloring, using of paintbrush and all. Creativity is also about how you solve the problem, how you come out of a particular situation, how you try to understand or take the big picture into consideration and try to come up with solutions. So there could be some stories, there could be some Sherlock Holmes or Bomkin Bakshi like questions for the kids so that they can answer. And there could be even the cultural aspects also we can teach through those, and where the creativity get developed, where we can ask which Sahaba you feel is the most close to Sallallahu and why, and in any other regional aspect, any other religious aspect, you can convert it or you can translate the question to some other character, some other person. So like this, creativity can be also developed through such tools. It doesn't mean that there we are using only for a technological tool, a logical tool where only things of logics will happen. No, even there also the creativity will be encouraged. We have many freehand drawing tools, we have many coloring tools, we have many other tools where creativity can be developed. Okay.
And
Next
thank you
question,
so much.
Zainab.
Next question from Dr. M.A. Mujib. Alhamdulillah, the talk was very informative. I'm an assistant professor from Gulbarga, that's Kalaburagi, and would like to know how I can reach you, mail or contact.
I am also from Gulbarga. Many people know me there in Gulbarga, so you can search, or my company name Zenith Tech Solutions. Through that also you can search. Okay, or you can take help of Zainab. She will help you with my number.
Sure, sure. And they also wants to know, can we share this PPT in the group?
Yeah, definitely. I'll share this PPT in a PDF format with Zainab as a regular practice. We always do this. And by tomorrow, end of the day, or before the tomorrow session, you will get a PPT for every day.
Sir, it's 9:30. Can we take one last question?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
okay
from
for another 2 or 3 questions if they are very relevant.
Fizarias, can creativity skills be hampered by online methods?
Can creativity
skills be hampered by online methods?
See, definitely. First answer is yes, because people will get involved into what is the existing content available on this platform. So first they will like to utilize that, unless and until you put them across to those tools where their creativity get enhanced. Okay, so as a parent, as a teacher, we have to work on trying to find out as to what exactly or what are the strength of this particular child, and try to expose them to those platforms, those apps where their existing talent can be groomed or enhanced further. Okay, if you are first of all unable to get to know as to what exactly is the multiple intelligence or the different intelligence in this child and which intelligence is more predominant, so then there is no question of the second step. Okay, so first we have to get into this step of trying to find out what is the intelligence which is more predominant in this child, and then trying to encourage them into going to that platform. Otherwise, this platform, this technology has so many different things. So definitely they will get diverted, and they will not be able to use. They will definitely kill some of their talent. Okay, so that should not happen. So for that, we must clearly analyze and then give the relevant tools to the child. Okay, only then we'll be able to use it. Otherwise, it will be diminished.
Thank you so much, sir. Next question is from Fizarias. How can psychomotor domain be developed by digitalization?
See, psychomotor definitely has got various aspects. Okay, where the head, heart, hand coordination is majorly we are trying to teach with those psychomotor activities, trying to develop the sensing part. See, these things definitely are gonna happen through physical equipments, physical props, physical materials only. Okay, but having said that, there are to some extent, there are some activities wherein some apps, some websites have developed, wherein people response time, because that's also part of the psychomotor skills development. The response time, the hand movements, if not leg movement on the mobile, at least the finger movement. Okay, all such things are getting programmed or getting used in one or the other apps. Okay, some skills are, but yes, psychomotor skills definitely predominantly, majorly, we have to make it, and it is all about physical activities. Okay, so no doubt that's the best source, but digitizing that is a bigger challenge. Okay, we cannot make the people to feel the differences between the use of different sense organs online. Okay, the sense organ, if they have to use other tools only. I have never digested a saying on social media or anywhere, people telling that now you can taste a particular food item on the tablet or on the digital screen. Okay, can you taste? No, it's not possible. People say that, okay, you can look, feel, you can see that how does this looks like. let me tell you one of the gravy items, like, mango chicken, okay, which is very famous in Dubai. Okay, many Malbari restaurants here they make. Now, if you want to taste that one, you cannot taste it through tablet, right? It is not possible. Your taste buds cannot get that taste. Okay, it is not possible unless until the touch screen, emits those taste items. So for that reason, yes, it is not so possible to use digital completely. And when you're developing sensory organs, it is best to do physically only.
Next question is from Mohsin Siddiqui. Are there any support groups for parents to help them raise futuristic children?
See, like we have teachers forums also. There are many parenting forums also. There are many speakers who speak on this. There are many psychologists or parenting coach. Okay, so many people are doing this job. So you can just Google and find many. Okay, and in fact, on social media also, if you have account on Facebook like thing, Instagram, Telegram, and other places also, there also you find many groups and many forums of parenting tips and all. So you can find many.
Next question is from Javed Ahmed. The government has initiated artificial intelligence system for all services. Now, common masses will not be able to access services till they know computer or have digital literacy. How will it happen?
See, first and foremost thing, please understand that in India, it is never possible that we have a cutoff system of adapting to any new technology. Cutoff system means where we stop the existing method, existing process, and from this date onwards, we'll start the new process. We'll always have parallel approach, okay, continuous approach or switch over. We'll adapt to this unless until this becomes successful, and then we stop the previous one. Okay, even if you know, even WhatsApp also will not stop WhatsApp upgradation software for every device, right? So every year, November, December, WhatsApp will announce these are the device on which WhatsApp will not work after 31st of December. Okay, so if you want to use WhatsApp, you have to upgrade your mobile or you have to use some other mobile so that you will be able to use the WhatsApp software. So like this, for everything, there is always a cutoff time. There is a switchover time. There is no sudden cutoff. Always sudden cutoff is not a standard international practice. Nobody will do that. Okay, and government though they cannot do it. Okay, it is not possible. Government may have, I don't know which regulation, which announcement you're talking about. And artificial intelligence, basically, if artificial intelligence is used, then the person doesn't needs to know even English also, doesn't needs to know IT also, because artificial intelligence should be able to adapt to the person who is standing in front of him. That is what the capacity of artificial intelligence is. Okay, it can talk. You can program the robot to speak any language. You can program the robot to do many different activities. Like even now also, you can scan any language document. You can scan to Google, and Google will translate it. Google will also tell you in which language it is, right? So this artificial intelligence, this is a part of artificial intelligence, and this is artificial intelligence has been made part of robots or made part of any of the machine which uses by the government. Then definitely human beings will become more independent of language. They will become more independent of technology. Okay, artificial intelligence will make their life much more easy. Okay, so but my fact, I want to reiterate that sudden switch off will not happen. It will be always phase wise switch off. Okay.
So you would like to go for a few more questions?
Last one or two. I want to answer one question which I think somewhere Meeta Chanda, who had asked earlier a question, she has questioned us how online learning platforms are enhancing learning. Okay, I really want to answer this. See, definitely these online learning platforms will enhance. For example, I'll give you one. I've gone to one intermediate college in my place, Gulbarga. Okay, 11th and 12th science. Now these college people hardly conduct some monthly test. They do half-yearly test, they do annual test. Okay, after half-yearly test, we don't have a scope to check on the improvisation of the child unless until he writes the last test, the final exam. Okay, so there is no scope for me to check on individual student as to how the student is progressing. Okay, there is no checkpoints basically. So the checkpoints is having a monthly test. Now there are many schools which are doing monthly test. So now month on month basis, we'll get to know how the child is progressing on physics, on chemistry, on mathematics, on biology. Now the ideal situation would be having a weekly test on these subjects, having physics, chemistry, maths, biology test on every week. So now on week basis, if I get this data, I know how the child is progressing. And if I know in that particular week, which was the subject or the module which was taught in which subject and who was the faculty, then I have a better control in terms of correcting the child also, at the same time correcting the faculty also. Now, all this data is possible through the IT. If I have a learning management system, that is LMS, if I have a software through I feed in the test data, if I have the software in which I feed the faculty's data, student data, and progress of test data, everything I'm entering, and then only I'll get this meaningful reports through them. So now I can cater to one-on-one. I can come up with an individualized, personalized study plan. As a counselor, I sit with in some of the schools where I have these tools, I sit with students with personalized progress plan, so that they can progress. I'll get to know they are weak in chemistry and biology. Okay, these guys are analytical, they are the road subjects they cannot mug up with. So then I'll teach them some methods as to how they can go for that. So once we have these things online, the platform, in the online learning platform, in various other aspects, in the various other ways, so then only this will be help us. Okay, I'll give one very relevant example to all the teachers here. Please mark this. If you're using an Android phone and khushi, very happily, you might have created an Gmail ID when you started the mobile device using. For accessing the Play Store, you require this Gmail ID. Okay, so you happily created the Gmail ID. But do you know that the Gmail ID has got 500 data points? Through that data points, Google is collecting your various details of on a day-to-day basis. What time you're waking up, what time you're sleeping, okay, how much time you're walking, how much time you're running, so many things. I'm telling 500 plus data points that Google has. So using the same data points, Google shows you on the Google map how much traffic is there on the road. What do you think that they take for photos from the satellite? No, they cache the data, they summarize, they collate the data from this, all the phones, Android phones, which are using this Android technology. So based on that, they interpret how much is the traffic on each road. Okay, so like this, all these things are possible when you put this data online. Okay, and then only we can change the way the people learn, the way the teacher teaches, the way I find out one thing very interesting. In one of the tests, there was one question on one particular topic where none of the student appeared that question. Out of 60 students in that batch, none of the student appeared for that question. So when we asked the faculty, sir, आपने question exam में पूछा था, and none of the students appeared this question, not even attempted. So then he said, oh, मैंने तो ये subject cover ही नहीं किया था, ये topic में cover नहीं किया class में, but it was there in the question paper. So you're getting, so these kind of interpretations are possible when you put the things online. And I can keep on talking and hours together for this. That's why I picked up your question and I'm answering this, because yes, online platforms will enhance learnings. Okay, they will give you customized solutions, they will give you different pace. Like you as a teacher go and teach at one pace to all the students, but different students learn at different pace. So can you customize your pace? No. But in the online platform, it is possible for me to make one particular student who is slow learner to slow down the video, to repeat the video, to answer more questions in between the video. Okay, then I ensure that this particular child is learning. Okay, so like this, there are many solutions when we come onto the online platform. Yeah, Zainab, any
sir,
other
I
questions?
also see here that we can take one last question. Before that, I see here few attendees have asked multiple questions. So since we have more than 300 attendees with us right now, I'm trying to take one question from each attendee. They are asking, "Uska answer karo, wo answer that first." So please let me allow everyone to participate. One last question from Tamanna Firdaus. My question is that how can we imagine the relationship between AI, human creativity, and innovation?
AI, human creativity, and innovation.
Yeah.
You know where you are drawing this question from. See, artificial intelligence, उसका एक definition ये होगा कि we are trying to give the self-learning capacity, the self-improving capacity to the computer. Okay, otherwise earlier days computer were just program. Okay, and they could only reply only those things which they are programmed for. If they're not programmed, they cannot process that. So now artificial intelligence is that part of programming wherein the algorithms are written in such a way that the computer can learn on its own. Okay, वो अपने से सीख रहा है, इंसानों की तरह खुद से सीखने की क्षमता रखता हो. Then only it is called as an artificial intelligence. Okay, now this is a very innovative tool, but obvious, right? This is an innovation. We have given this innovation to artificial intelligence, to the robot. Now, one example I'll quote here. I don't know where you're coming from. Maybe I may answer your question with this example, or maybe not. If not, do let me know. Earlier days, when artificial intelligence was at a very booming stage, in fact, the world was not knowing it an artificial intelligence. We were calling it as some other name. And at that time, what happened was there was a very famous chess player by name Gary Kasparov. Okay, so Gary Kasparov was one of the person who sat with the programmers and they programmed the computer to play chess. Okay, so in chess, we know there are 64 boxes, but we know there are so many different possible permutation and combination of steps that can be played. So all the steps were thought, but still, after the whole programming was done, first time when Gary Kasparov played alone with the robot with that computer, Gary Kasparov lost. He lost. Gary Kasparov was surprised. I have trained this machine and this machine has made me fail, because our human brain is no doubt it is much more powerful than the computer's brain. We can process more than 1 million instructions at one fraction of second. But the challenge is our brain is also having some limitations, because it gets tired, it gets fatigue, it gets also ignoring some aspects. But robot cannot ignore. Robot doesn't ignore. If the instruction is there, it will process. So by this method, actually, the computer won at the first time. Then second time, again, Gary Kasparov challenged and played with the computer again. And this time, even though last time it was computer who has won, but this time computer lost and Gary Kasparov won. Okay, because he was at a very high alert of his brain. He was not leaving any possible option left so that the computer should win. And because he has programmed, he was keeping in mind that what all I have thought, or what are things we are given as a programming, which are the things which is still not given, can I give that? Okay, so that way Gary Kasparov won for the second time. So like this, we human beings have trained in a very innovative way to the artificial intelligence machine as to use that. And artificial intelligence is that machine which comes up with that innovation, which comes up apart from the things which we have programmed it for. It comes up with an innovative solution to our problem. Then only that artificial intelligence is of essence. Otherwise, it's of no essence. So here it's a very close relationship between the machine, the human being, the programmer, and the innovation. If that innovation is happening, then only the machine is learning. Okay, I think I have answered your question to the best of my ability. If you still think that, more than happy to take it personally, answer on call or some other way.
Thank you so much, sir. And there are a few questions related to the feedback form and the question quiz. So we would be sharing that in the teachers group that we have that WhatsApp group. So we will be sharing it shortly. And yes, sir, I would like to thank you on behalf of AMP and all the attendees today for this enlightening session. And I'm sure that the teachers will implement the knowledge they have gained, and they will grow as educator. Thank you so much.
The last one thing, Zainab, sorry, all the participants, I still see a 300 plus number. So please, my dear friends, if you like today's session, definitely please do give feedback, do take the quiz. One small request I want to make on behalf of AMP to you all. And that small request is, as you all have seen Faisal by talking about our National Talent Search exam, and you all are teachers, you are connected with so many students, okay, and we have our last date coming up very soon. So please ask at least 5 to 10 of your students to take up this National Talent Search exam. If you can talk to your school or some other school where you have some influence to become a center or examination center for us, that would be the biggest feedback which I will receive. If after this session I get at least 100 or 200 more registration of students for our NTS exam, I think I have justified the time which I have given. So my humble request to all of you here, please do request your students to take up AMP's National Talent Search exam 2023. And if you can do this, I think that would be the biggest feedback that you can give to me to overall AMP. Okay, I expect, I don't want any reply here. I expect some big number changes by next 2 days. And if you do so, more than thankful to you.
Yeah, and before we end the session, I would also like to thank our attendees today. Thank you so much for your participation and for the insightful questions you were coming up with. I'm sure it will help in your professional development. And yeah, tomorrow we have another session, same time. Do join us. Inshallah, we'll all meet tomorrow, and may Allah make it easy for every one of us. And do encourage your students to register for this NTS exam. The link has been shared again and again in the group. If you want, I can share it again with you, or you can just download the AMP World app from Google Play Store, and you can register multiple students through that app. Thank you so much, everyone. Jazakallah khair. See you all tomorrow. Allah Hafiz.